Brilliant minds to write stuff.
Yeah. You're recording over there?
I'm recording over here.
Are we ready to go?
Every day.
I love your face and your trailer reaction. You're like...
Cause the whole trailer of Aquaman, I didn't make like an expression face. I didn't laugh. So I'm like, what? Do I have any
Those
image where I'm doing
eyebrows.
something? I'm like, well, raising eyebrows might seem anything, but I didn't. I watched the whole trailer. I'm like, yeah, I didn't react one single bit. I just watched it. Like,
Okay.
spoiler.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 204th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I don't know, I'm the king of monsters trust now.
Oh, what the fuck?
Boom!
I
King of
am-
podcasters.
Hey.
Fuck, you just took mine. Jesus Christ, I was
Whoa,
gonna lead on.
The
no.
king of
Oh,
Pokemon
there.
catchers. The
I-
king of Star Wars memes.
Hey, Travis.
The king of Steely Dan.
Oh no.
Oh, yikes.
You can't be King of Steely Dan.
Ha!
Steely Dan does have a song called King of the World, so that would have been a better reference, Travis. But clearly you don't know anything about Steely Dan culture, so.
You don't know anything
I
about
know,
anything, Travis.
I know there's an unreleased song that is playing in
Here
there.
at the Western World, great song. Everyone go check it out. I am the lighthouse keeper, Dylan.
I am the legendary defender, Kirkland Patzer.
Nice.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
One of the greatest shirts of all time.
I appreciate that.
All time. Wow.
Yeah.
Cost me a pretty penny. Not an ugly one. They wouldn't
Worth
take the ugly
every
ones.
penny.
They only took the pretty ones.
I'm the fantastic Taylor Field.
Ew.
That's what I'm so with, because he took the fucking Godzilla one.
Ew.
That's so
You could have taken one from Shazam.
I couldn't think of anything. I didn't want to be like, I'm the Shazam Taylor Field.
Wow, you've done it before.
Could have been the
Yeah,
Hunt.
you have.
I'm turning over a new leaf.
You have had good ones lately, so now I have to
Yeah.
say you dipped a little bit on
I
this.
did dip.
I mean, he did steal it right from under the rug.
Did.
Right under. You could have said I'm the Jet Jaguar Taylor Field.
I'm the Jaguar. Yeah, but false advertisement, you know. Unless
Like
he
you
is,
did
it
2
wasn't a
days ago
trailer.
with Predator.
What do you mean?
You talked for a minute Predator, but he's in the middle of the fucking profile.
To be
picture.
fair, I got distracted because your brother came in and then threatened me and started fighting me.
No, but that doesn't change the fact that you made a thumbnail when you knew we weren't gonna be talking about
Look at
Predators.
those.
Oh, I knew there were more developments.
Pills.
Ladies and gentlemen,
My brother likes pills.
let's get into what you tuned into. Gouda cheese, you know?
Gucci.
That's great.
Gucci.
Gorlami.
No, today is
Dominic the Cook.
day 3 of Comic Con DC. It's a big day.
Antonio Magarione.
Warner Brothers panel has happened. We're gonna start off with DC stuff, then we'll move into the other stuff. Let's start with Aquaman, the big old trailer. You know,
Waterboy.
Yeah,
Love a girl.
go play foosball with your friends.
The lighthouse keeper.
That's what they should just rename
That's
it.
the way you start a trailer. My father was a lighthouse keeper.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
let's obviously anticipate movie, DC's only film of the year. So, you know,
The DC fans have nothing else to get.
tune in to Hunka Hunka. They got some theories about that. But
They have some crazy ass.
yeah, what did you guys think about this? First debut trailer of Aquaman. Also, we've seen him Justice League, but this is his feature film directed by James Wan, who did Saw, Insidious, Conjuring, one of the Fast Furious.
You
So.
expect a very graphic Aquaman.
No, I don't.
Very scary one.
No, I don't.
It's a scary one. Water's a scary place. They don't even
It
know what's
is.
all down there.
I'm scared of the water.
And sand.
The lighthouse keeper's son is
And
down
Sam,
there, you know.
Yes, that's me.
So.
I don't know what to say about this trailer. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. It just didn't really have any moments that really hit me emotionally. It didn't grip me all that much. I didn't particularly jive with any of the little comedy bits.
No.
Felt like it was kind of cheap little jokes here and there. Nothing that really had too much thought behind it. CGI was pretty good for the most part, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't like that shark in the aquarium.
I did not like that scene.
No, the right when that
whatsoever.
happened, like, oof.
The,
Yeah,
the good thing
the
is,
poster scene, sort of.
yeah, the good thing is we got till December, so the effects will look much better when we get to December. They just
Yeah.
put this out. Like rendering takes a long time.
I
so.
don't know. I guess I looked at Atlantis and I liked it a lot better than I can't remember the
Wakanda.
name. I was gonna say Thor's place. What was
Oh,
that called?
Asgard.
Asgard. Lot cooler than Asgard. It seems like there's a lot more going on. It has more personality. I don't know why I'm comparing it to that one. I guess that's the one that popped in my
That
head.
came to mind when I saw it, like all the people around and
I
everything.
thought it was Shark Tale. Remember that movie?
Will Smith?
Such a good movie.
I thought
Retro.
I want one Finding Nemo because they had those turtles all like.
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
oh, they're gonna go
Dude,
find
yeah.
Shell. The reason I
Star
thought
Turtles.
Wakanda was just because the trailer seems the exact same as Black Panther when they're flying, and it's like you wait for this, and then like
yeah, a little,
this never gets old,
a little
you know.
flyover.
And then and that was the same thing. Was like, except in this movie he just goes badass.
Oh, well, strap in, strap on.
Strap in, strap on. Now I have
Wrap
to
and
say,
strap it.
did I see Daenerys in this trailer? I swear there was a little snippet of a woman that looked the exact same as her.
Like Mother of Dragons.
Yeah,
No.
Amelia Clark.
yeah.
No.
Damn, because I would have got some points for that.
It's on
In the
California.
comic book draft.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we actually? I don't think we've mentioned. That.
I'll tell him after.
Okay. Anyway,
Oof.
so I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. I
Yeah.
didn't really get me too excited, but I mean, I boldly predicted this movie's gonna get 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Wow.
A few months ago. You know, I'm gonna stick with that just because I'm stubborn. So go ahead.
But the takeaway from the meme, though, after seeing this trailer, do you legitimately think, though, it's a 13%?
Possible, but
Really?
but there is potential. I see some
For a 50?
potential. Potential for a clean 46.
Do you see any potential for at least a fresh, even if that's 60 on the dot?
Every movie has potential to be fresh.
Yeah, but no, this.
That's so optimistic.
Yeah, I'm saying from this trailer, you only see this trailer. Let's say we see no other ones. Just this trailer.
No,
Okay.
no,
So I was looking for.
yeah, I wouldn't give it that high praise.
Mm.
No.
Kirkland, you gonna give it some high praise?
I'm gonna give it a decent amount of praise, I guess.
Decent?
Well, like
That's good.
going off of what you were saying, I definitely think this is gonna be a fresh movie. That's my
Oh,
bold
okay.
prediction. I think it'll be.
DCEU only has one. Wonder
Oof.
Woman.
That's
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Really,
I
BVS?
feel like
Where's BVS?
It's like 27%.
I thought it was like in the 50s at least.
No, and then
Spawn is like 24.
Oh, no.
I saw it's on Netflix now.
Yeah,
And I think Justice League is like a clean 40 or something like that. I'll get the rundown in a second. They've not had great success, and Wonder Woman's like it's up there with Logan. It's like in the high 90s.
Yeah.
So
Oh, very high.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what is compelling me to say this is gonna be fresh, but I feel like it'll just be. It won't be like a. Oh man, that was really bad, or like that was
Mhm.
amazing. It was just it'll be a decent movie, you know.
Middle of the road.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
It
good
happened.
good movie to take your kids to. But
If you don't have kids.
going off the trailer,
Go steal some.
you, I wouldn't suggest that. But
I didn't say that.
yeah, going off the trailer though, I didn't particularly like the trailer. I probably would have given it a not fresh rating if we were going on that route. I would have been probably like a 30% on the trailer. There wasn't a lot that I liked like whatsoever. I really am not a fan of Amber Heard with the red hair.
Like in general, or in this trailer?
In general, I'm not a big fan of her, but
What
this
is
trailer
she
I didn't like her
from?
more.
I don't even.
I know she's in
I didn't
Superbad.
recognize her.
She's in what?
She's in Superbad.
Wait, what?
I love that movie. She's
No, she's not.
yes, she is.
Who?
Look it
As
up.
who?
No,
It's
she's
his
not.
girlfriend,
You're
isn't it?
thinking that no Pineapple Express.
Sorry, what did I say? Superbad.
Superbad,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Pineapple Express. That's what I was going for.
Isn't she in Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage?
Woof.
Is that actually?
That's
No
a great
way.
movie title.
It's a good movie.
Swim angry. You can do anything with
Swim
angry.
angry.
That's what the subtitle of the sequel is, you know. So. Oh god.
Angry.
Justice League. She's in. Oh yeah, she was
She was in
briefly
Justice
in.
League. Her four big, the Rum Diary, Johnny
She
Depp.
was.
She's in Drive Angry, Machete Kills. I'm pretty sure she's in the Stepfather.
Machete Kills.
She's just done a bunch of
Yeah,
like
it's a franchise
Alpha Dog.
series.
Californication, Pineapple Express, The Joneses.
So she's been around the block.
Zombieland, Stepfather. Yeah, she's
If
been
you
in.
call it block.
So what's she in Zombieland?
I think
She's been around the
I
trailer
think she's
park.
Eisenberg's
Oh,
guy.
Oh,
That's-
gotcha.
The one that he likes and
Yeah.
she turns into the zombie. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I didn't like a lot of like the creatures in general.
Mhm.
There was a couple scenes that I liked, like when they jumped off the boat. I thought that was pretty cool. They have like a red light going down, and then you see all the creatures following them. At the end, when you like reference like a dinosaur.
Mosasaur.
Yeah, the mosasaur. When the mosasaur bites that dude, I thought that was pretty cool.
Pretty
But
cool.
other than that, was not a fan really of. I don't know. I'm scared to say it. I'm not a fan of like the whole like talking underwater, and I feel like that's gonna be a big part of this movie. So that might be a
I was
big.
gonna say yeah, that's
a
kind of
big
tough.
X.
Yeah. But what are you not like? Why are you a fan? Because I actually thought that one scene where they had Momoa when he was just like kneeling, he was talking. I actually thought it looked good. Like I thought the CG looked good. He didn't look out of place because I was worried big time about the water. But I thought all the times they were talking underwater, I thought it looked decent.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh that stands
It
out.
might just be something that I have to get used to.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Different
Like I
type
haven't
of
really
movie.
seen it like right in like a live action of like people underwater talking like that. So.
Well, like Little Mermaid, like what other movie? Just
Yeah,
even movies
exactly.
in general have underwater talking.
Shark Tale.
Not so much.
Yeah. So.
No, but the city looked cool. Like I said, it totally made me feel Shark Tale. I just love that movie. I'm gonna keep shouting it out as much as I can.
Sure.
But yeah, that looked cool. It's got like very vibrant. Looks like it's popping. It's like it's got a good nightlife scene down there.
Good night, Liz.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. This trailer is just. I'm excited to see a next trailer to compare the two. But going off of no trailers, I feel like this is a bad first trailer for me.
Bad
at least.
for sure.
Yeah.
Savage.
Rotten.
Taylor, are you gonna save us? You know, you're Mr. Optimistic.
I'm gonna go see this movie. I think. You know,
We're all.
I never
seeing
said I wasn't gonna see it.
We're
Let's get that
slaves to the
straight.
cast.
I'm the one that said it's gonna be fresh.
You have
The
to do
movie
it
in
the
general.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this movie, and you know, it's Aquaman's first time getting his own feature film. I'm not gonna count Justice League because he was to the side with everyone else.
He was very to the side.
So
Even though
Some
the
say he was
Golden
in a box
Geeks,
in the corner.
even though the Golden Geeks, I'm pretty sure you tried to
He
put
would
him
be
in
there.
like best male actor.
I did.
I think you did. Try.
Well, he's a great male actor, so I can't deny that.
Okay. I think some could deny it, but that's alright.
But yeah, no, I think it looked so colorful. It looked awesome. The intro part to the trailer that you find funny, like that's not how I start a trailer. Like it's literally there's a second goes by, and then I'm the lighthouse.
My father was a
son.
lighthouse
Yeah,
keeper.
I'm the father was a lighthouse.
It was
son.
very
You're- what
serious,
you
but
said
it
was a
really
riddle.
like silly content. So it
Well,
just
it's
really
not
threw
something
me
you
off.
put at the very beginning. Like you usually like show some build up to him being on the rocks, go over for a few seconds, and then fade into that
Then you drop the
transition.
lighthouse
Don't
keeper
just
bomb.
drop it right in the
Because
first
that's a big
second.
fact, and like the viewers aren't going to be ready for that. I've never heard that in my life,
Mhm.
so it really just swiveled me out of the chair.
First time
dude.
for everything. I guess the question I had asked
Like
is,
blackout after.
Yeah.
like,
I'll
they
never
were-
remember. I'll never forget this day.
obviously Aquaman's not a popular hero, so they're trying to show his origin, but I don't know if they need to show it that much in the trailer, because I feel like
Yeah.
that's what the movie's gonna be. You
Exactly.
know, like with Wonder Woman, we saw glimpses of her as a little girl, but they weren't like. Maybe I have to watch again, but I don't recall the trailer being like,
My mother was an Amazon,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe that did happen. It was just
Sculpted
done
by
better.
clay.
But the first 3 seconds of this trailer is full on like, oh, this is gonna be what the start of the movie is.
But
right?
that's
When
the
he was a kid.
downside to nowadays. Like all these trailers, they reveal the backstory, like every left, right, and center of the movie. They don't keep it too
BBS
slim.
sure did.
Yeah, they don't keep it slim.
I'll say it's 50-50. I think people like Marvel do a good job, and Star Wars, it's one thing like whatever you feel with their movies, their trailers don't spoil much. Like
No.
they had one take up with that Last Jedi spot with Rey holding Kylo's lightsaber. Really, that's like just like a fanboy, like, oh, she touched a red lightsaber. Like it's not a big story plot point, right? So I feel like maybe I'm just naming off Disney, but I feel like it's kind of 50-50. Then you have your skyscrapers that show the entire movie. So
Yeah, but
It
I mean,
goes
even
back,
with
that's
even
because
with Star Wars though, they
nothing
know
else.
that this is uncharted territory, so they know no one's gonna know what to do. And Disney just likes to play it out like that, especially with their Marvel movies. But you even look like the Jurassic Parks, all that stuff, like all these trailers. I just feel like even the action movies, even Godzilla, which we'll get to later, I felt like that even had like a lot. of
see, I
movement to
can't
it.
see the reason I can't agree with you because for me, a trailer that does that, I expected we're gonna get Aquaman's origin, so I'm fine with them showing it off. I'm fine with them showing because no one knows how the fuck Aquaman was made. So like, to me, this trailer, I don't think you can tell other than the origin, the rest of the movie, what's the beginning, middle, and end though.
I think so.
I think the
think
big
so.
battle's
I
probably
think
the
so.
end, but where is that part where they're in the desert? Where is the first time? Because he goes, it sounds like, okay, he goes to Atlantis for the first time, meets his brother, but then they're back up there. Like, I don't know the
He probably gets his ass kicked, and then he
May-
goes.
maybe.
Somehow they're on a plane. Goes
Maybe,
to the
but
desert,
there's
they
a
meet
ch-
Mantis.
There's a
Mantis.
chance that like that land stuff happens first, and it's him building his way. I'm not sure. That's what I mean. Like they didn't full on show this is A, B, and C.
I think so because obviously we see where he comes from and he's growing up in the real world or whatever, and then it shows Amber or whatever coming in to talk with them, and now they're together in the desert doing something, and then it goes to
But
them
you don't-
fighting in the war.
But see,
Yeah,
that's
I
what I mean.
agree.
You don't know for sure when the desert happens. Does
But
that
we
go-
know what happens after he meets Amber because Amber jumps
Well,
on the
yeah,
dock and says,
but-
"You need to be king," and he's like, "No," and then they go to the desert.
But then no, see that I would disagree because then like in like Force Awakens you see them meet Han Solo and then it's like oh all this stuff with Han Solo. Like I feel like if they're showing me the first half an hour that's fine because that's the first half an hour of the movie. I expect that he's gonna meet Amber and then they're gonna be I'm gonna start calling her Mara. I'm not gonna call her Amber anymore. Like they would go on these ventures together. So I don't think that's really spoiled. Like to me it's not a full on like Spider-Man Homecoming where it literally shows you oh he has a suit something happens Tony takes his suit away and then he fights Vulture and then all we know is Vulture. Like it's not 100% laid
To know
out.
what they're doing in the desert, I'll give you that. I don't know what they're doing. They didn't spoil that, but I know they're going to the desert and they're on a plane. So that whole sequence. Is
But then what are
taken
they
away.
supposed? No. So what are they supposed to show in the trailer then?
They showed.
You don't know why they're going to the
several
desert. You
battles.
don't
They
know
showed politics.
You
and
don't know
everything.
how the desert stuff ends or begins. You don't know why it happens. You don't know America die in that desert. Like, I don't agree. Like, what are they supposed to show in a trailer? Oh, Aquaman goes in the water. Oh, it's full. Aquaman went back to Atlantis. Like,
No, but
I
they
don't
could
agree
have.
with
They
that.
could have covered. Like. They didn't have to show so much of where his upbringing was. They could have, start off slow and then showcase like, okay, he was like the lightkeeper's son.
I guess you have
and
to
then-
wonder what they'll do in future trailers because it
Yeah.
does feel like they talked about quite a bit of
Yeah.
what's going to happen throughout this
I was
movie.
waiting for a first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a second trailer is where they could have showed more of like the land stuff, whereas the first one just showing off, hey man, it's gonna be in the water, it's Aquaman, and then the second trailer comes out, plot twist, holy shit, he's
On
on the desert,
land.
what the hell?
Oh shit.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but with the points you were saying, where we don't know how it's structured though,
Yeah.
it makes. Like, I don't know, I'm a little more open to, because I was definitely in your boat. I'm like, man, they showed way too much in this. Even like just like the battle scene, and then it shows like the crowd, and like that shockwave goes through, and they're like, oh, like
I
just-
hate that shot.
Exactly, like I really didn't like that stuff. The little one-liners with Momoa. I just, I don't know. The trailer just to me wasn't that great. Although after what you said, how we don't really know how it's structured, that does add some points.
That's not me saying it's a great trailer before you get to me. I'm just
Like,
saying.
because Travis said it's such a good trailer.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's not the. Do you have more to go on Aquaman?
No.
No. Yeah, that's not the reason I think it's a bad trailer. I don't even think it's a bad trailer. I think it's just a movie that's gonna be. I don't know. I for months have been saying this is gonna be a great movie, and I'm less confident. But I guess two things that I guess I'm kind of shook is DC usually has great trailers. So I think that's what threw me off. Is even like BVS Squad, which I know Dylan didn't like Squad, but majority of the audience gets pumped for those, and I like those. So for me, DC usually does great trailers. So when they didn't do that for this, I was a little worried. But I also remember before Wonder Woman, I think like the very first trailer was great. It was a comic one, but then after that they started to get less and less, and I ended up really liking that movie. So I'm hoping it's just the way the trailer is, and because it's such a grand movie, because it is going to be an origin movie that they're throwing a lot at the wall right now, and I hope in the movie it'll feel better and flow better. Maybe those jokes will feel more natural, because in the trailers they don't. I think they should have either decided to do an epic trailer or a comedic trailer. I don't think they needed as many quips as they did in this trailer. I think there was probably like 3 or 4, and for like a 2-minute trailer, you don't need that. Like, just save those for the movie. Like, even then, that spoils them being funny, and even then, they weren't that funny. Just like, permission to come aboard. It's like, all right, that's the best line you think of.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
wonder like if all of those are going to be in the actual movie, like
Yeah.
the same script and all. Or
Yeah.
those are just kind of obviously they are all very quick ones, which is usually what you have to do in a trailer. You're not going to spend the time to set up.
It's like a
joke.
minute long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, and then Momoa, I like him. I don't think
Unique.
doesn't look like there's any bad acting going on in this movie. It's just that he's super bro-y, and I'm fine with that. And there's supposed to be maybe a bit development. I hope that happens in the actual movie. But I just hate that his response to everything is a bro yell, or just like his first response in this trailer. And I don't think it will be like this in the actual movie. I think they're just trying to make it seem cool. But they go to Atlantis and they do this dive, and you're just like badass, and it's just like I just don't find myself connecting with that type of character. As a side character, maybe because he can be the cool ass kicker. But as the main character of the story, who knows? There is that more subtle scene where he's talking to like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So maybe there is that. I'm hoping. The villains look good. Orm, I'm a big Patrick Wilson fan, so I think he's gonna kill it. And Black Manta looks fantastic. He looks like pretty comic. He's the guy with the big like beetle head. He's like one of the best looking and one of the best DC villains. So, and they've said that this kind of works as like an origin for that character. So, I hope that's good. My worry is it could be a bit too much too fast, because Orm is his half brother, and that's literally about a battle for it's very Thor-esque, the battle for Atlantis. So I do worry that Black Manta is thrown in there for fan service, because they know fans of DC are going to go nuts for Black Manta, because he is like his Joker. He is. You look at him, he looks like a cool Power Rangers villain, and he's also a human. So they have a lot of there's a big story between them. So that's a worry of mine. And the CG I go back and forth on. I've actually liked the trailer when I've seen it. I've seen it 3 times now. I've liked it a bit more the few times, but I don't know. It feels like an early 2000s comic book movie. It feels very John Carter on Mars, which I know you like, but I did not. It just feels and I said this in my trailer reaction, I'll reiterate it. It feels like in Tropic Thunder when the actors have their fake movies and there's that scene of them showing, and there's just moments.
Sweat.
Yeah, there's just moments in the trailer that look really cheesy, and there's just that one moment where he looks at Amber Heard and she looks over in slow motion. Her hair is like going like this. Like maybe in the movie it looks great, but there's certain shots that like this feels like a fan film, or this feels like it's, like I said, an early 2000s Tropic Thunder fake movie. And I know that sounds like a terrible insult, but I'm with Kirkland where I actually don't think it's going to be a raw movie. I think it'll be a fresh movie. I just think it's going to be... I don't know what movie to compare it to recently, because it feels like with comic movies, they've all been great or they've all been pretty poor. Like a Suicide Squad, or then you have like, a Civil War. Like I'm trying to think... Like, I don't know, I guess for myself it'd be like a... I don't know, like a Doctor Strange or a Spider-Man Homecoming, something like that, where like I really enjoy it, but it's not in the top tier, and I think DC will be fine with that. You know, I think
Sure.
I think they need that after Justice League. They just want to make some money, which I'm very surprised they stuck with the date. Everyone thought they're going to move it, and we talked about this yesterday, but I'll say it again, that it's coming out December 21st. In that 7 days, you have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Mary Poppins, Battle Allegia, or whatever that fucking thing is, Mortal Engines, Peter Jackson's new produced movie, and then Aquaman. You have these 5 movies all coming out within 7 days of each other. They're going to cannibalize one another, and I don't know why they're not moving it. Maybe CG is a big thing to do with that, but Spider-Verse I think will do good, but I think Mary Poppins actually is going to, like, it's Disney, they're going to promote the hell out of that.
Yeah.
So I'll be excited to see how it does, but I don't know why it's not moving. So I don't know if this is going to be a huge hit for them. I think they need to see more trailers to really to get that hype building. You know, where like I was mini spoiler where I saw one DC trailer today where I'm like, I'm sold. I'm very excited for this movie. This was still like, okay, and I was really disappointed because I thought I was really excited for Aquaman, and now I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Travis told you wrong. Because since the 2018 preview, I've been like, no, James Wan, and you know what? Maybe it's just a bad trailer. That happens. You know, we've seen that before. So.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that kind of like worry me about like the movie is just like the broy moments, like you said, like because it was nice having that in Justice League, because like he's just kind of like that comedic character. It's just like it's like all big broy. It's just like every time he says something, like I kind of chuckled. You know? It's cheesy, but like as a side character, it fits. But for this, in the trailer, it didn't really show too many like it was like the same thing, right?
Yeah,
like, it was
he's
just
just
that
the
broy
bro.
character.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it won't be like that throughout the whole movie. Just like hopefulness.
You never know.
Exactly.
I thought
like,
that about Flash. I'm like, oh, he's not going to equip the entire Justice League movie, and there's literally 2 lines where he doesn't equip, and that's it. So you never know.
Yeah. So that was one big thing that worries. I can't even speak right now. I'm just worried about that for that case.
Kirkland's so worried about
I'm
the
so
movie.
worried. I can't put it into words. But another thing is
Momoa
just like
still looks hot as ever, so good for him.
absolutely.
He's, buff.
yeah.
He's got it going on.
Did you say
What's there to say?
Momoa. Yeah, mimosas too.
Chicken
Looking hot as
mimosas.
ever.
Chicken samosas.
Jason's
Mimosas.
But like in this trailer, I felt like they did show a lot of action-packed stuff, and I feel like it might just be like pacing issues. Like it might just be too much, like just so much
For
going
one
on.
trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then it's like I don't know. I can't see this movie being over 2 hours. So.
Oh, it's good. I think it's.
You think
almost,
so?
I think it's be like 2:15.
Okay.
If we
Well-
I'd say like half an hour origin. He meets Mara. They have some adventures. That's like 45 minutes, and that big battle is gonna be at least half an hour.
But there's also the big battle, and then the battle of Manta. Right?
Yeah, then there's that battle with Manta, and then it
And
looks
then
like he has.
yeah.
So I think it's gonna be like a 2 hour, 2:15
Okay.
movie.
Well, I'm curious. That final battle, how it's gonna if it's. What's his name? Sorry, Orin.
Oh, just Or. I think it's
Or.
Or.
Like an oar.
Ocean. We can call him Ocean Master. That's his like villain name. So
Ocean
Ocean
Master.
Master. is his
Bushmaster,
villain name.
Ocean
He has a really sick mask. I'll pull it up. Bushmaster. I think it's OAR is his
Okay.
name. Yeah, I'm not
Or.
I'm not a Aquaman aficionado. I read it in the Justice League. I've never jumped in. I know Jeff Johns' run is really good, and Liam's been bugging me for years to read it, and I will read it before the movie comes out.
Yeah, so I'm curious how that is that the correct guy, Ocean Master?
Yeah, I'm
Travis
trying
Boo and,
to get the. He has a pretty sick mask, and he will have it in
nice.
the movie.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
better.
Yeah,
that's
there's
awesome.
Comic-Con posters with him, so
that's pretty bad.
I think he's gonna start the movie being like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to do good," and then he's just gonna take that full on bad guy.
Yeah, I wonder how that final fight is gonna play out, because obviously you'll have Samosa fighting him.
That's his
I didn't
nickname.
even mean to say that. I'm gonna do that
Jason
now.
Samosa.
Because obviously they'll be fighting each other underwater and stuff, but I'm curious if there will be any sort of battle between like the ocean peeps and like people on land, because how are you like what is that going to be like? How do you choreograph that? What kind of fights do you have?
And the other
I
thing
think
is,
it might just more be like an impending thing, while the longer this fight goes on, the more land or people are getting taken out.
They like a space helmet filled with water.
well, true.
That's what I want to picture.
There's two things that I think it could be, that
back.
most of
James Bond.
those water battles might just be like almost like a civil war with Atlantis, where they might be like, hey, some with Aquaman, some with Or. But then the other thing is with Justice League. Remember, we saw a lot of war with the Amazons and the Atlanteans fighting the parademons and all the stuff. And remember, those were all flashbacks. So there's a chance some of these big battles could be like the story of Atlantis and how we took over, like stuff like that, right?
Ooh,
So
I don't
and
want
same
that.
with BBS.
That's kind of what I want. I kind of
really?
want them to. I really want them to build up this world and make it a place that I want to see more of, or a place that's interesting. Because that's, I don't know. I felt like that kind of. I really like that Black Panther. I think they did that well, but I don't think they did it enough.
Yeah.
I guess they'll do it more in future movies, and I'm really excited to see that. But yeah, that was always my problem with the Thor movies, is Asgard didn't have any personality as a place.
Yeah.
And you need that for Atlantis, especially because it's such a unique visual place as well, and people that are they're kind of people, they're kind of not. It's going to be interesting to see what they're like.
I see what you're saying, but like my counterpoint to that is just like I felt like the big underwater battle was like big in this trailer, and if that's just like a short little like intro scene, I
don't think it will be, but I think there's a chance that we may think it could be this big thing, where some of it could be sprinkled throughout the story. And it's the same thing like in BVS, we saw so many trailers where Batman's in a trench coat, he's in the desert, but then what happened was that was a 10-minute dream sequence, right? Where it's like, because I was always like, why the fuck is Batman in the desert? Like, what's going on in this movie? And that was a dream sequence. It's a fun little scene, but then it's like, oh, it means nothing, right?
Yeah.
I think the end of the movie will be a huge battle.
Yeah.
I think this movie is going to almost be very
similar.
similar to Black Panther, the way it's looking, as far as I think, like, the middle chunk will be his, like, challenge scene with Killmonger, where he gets bopped and then he goes out and whatnot, and
different parties against each other.
Yeah, and I don't know. I won't say why they're in the desert. I don't know if it's a spoiler, if they've released that information, but I think there's some things that they'll have to achieve or do for him to come back and be, the true king. So I think that most of that battle will be at the end, but I think that there's a chance we get some flashback stuff, and you got Nicole Kidman in there, so they're gonna use her at least a little bit.
Yeah.
She's a big time Academy Award winning actress.
I got a question about that. Like, so the King of Atlantis, who would be Samosa's dad.
Yeah.
The lighthouse keeper.
The white, yes.
Well, he's not the white. The white. No, he's just a housekeeper. A lighthouse-keeper.
So, was there a previous king, or is it just the mom?
I believe it's just the mom, because what I believe happened was, so it's her and the original king. I believe King passes away, and that's who Or is. He's like their child, right?
Oh, I see.
And she just happens to be on land. This guy saves her. She gets it on with this Earth Dweller, and then that's why it's like, there could be another, heir to the throne.
Right.
That's Arthur Curry. Yeah. So
I don't know what I thought Aquaman's
He doesn't look like an
origin
Arthur
was.
Curry.
no, not this Momoa. No.
So
Or this Aquaman.
that name actually just really throws me off. I can't picture that as the character's name.
Arthur.
Yeah,
Arthur Curry.
Real Aquaman is almost similar to me. He's just like really pasty white, and he's like
Arthur Curry just sounds like someone that Dexter killed in like season 3.
Oh
something.
yeah.
So why, if she gets beached and like sleeps with the lighthouse keeper and this stuff, why does she just go back to Atlanta?
You're a lighthouse keeper.
Atlanta. I'm going back to Atlanta. I mean,
Georgia.
Spoiler: she does. She has to go back.
But why'd she stick around and go through like
'Cause
having
she's
a
pregnant.
kid for like pregnant with the lighthouse
If you're a
keeper?
lighthouse keeper, and
the
your
way
fantasy
sleeps
is
with
to
the
find a
lighthouse.
mermaid.
So in the story, and I
That's
imagine
why
that's
you
going to
do
be
it.
the movie. So spoilers if you're going to read the comic book, but she gets pregnant. She's not going to go back in water and like risk her like losing the baby or being like
The fetus.
And the other thing is, I feel like they're trying to keep it a secret because I don't know in this movie if the king's dead. I don't even know for sure because there's fucking 8 million origin
That's what
stories.
the symbolism was of the turtles, because that's what turtles do. They have their
Yeah.
babies on land and they come back to the water.
But she buries him in sand.
It's
But
a shell,
what I
bro.
don't get
Yeah.
is
David Attenborough commentates the whole.
for some reason, she was separated from her people. She gets beached, and
Here we have a
then
young
she
Samosa.
sees, or she connects with the lighthouse keeper. And obviously, if she's queen or she's like,
The
the king is alive at this point, right?
Well, I don't know. He could be dead. We don't know.
Okay,
him
because
yet.
I thought the king was alive, and she just gets beached and then sleeps around with the lighthouse keeper and has a kid.
Sleeps around.
You don't know the relationship. Maybe the king, they're broken up. They have a bad
You're
marriage.
really caught up on this lighthouse lighthouse keeper.
Yeah.
I am.
You know who
It
the
just
lighthouse
doesn't make
keeper
sense.
is, right?
No.
Batman.
Wow. It's
Nicolas
Django
Cage.
Fett.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Camino.
no shit.
Yeah, now it's the best.
Camino. I love it.
But yeah, I don't know if he'll be dead or not, but like she falls in love with this lighthouse keeper, they have a kid, and then she goes back after she gets born so she can go back there. Who knows, maybe Ocean Master is watching after it, maybe the king is
Master.
still alive at that point and they're just broken up. Maybe she did just cheat on the king, and maybe that's why the kid is kept secret, because hey, they might kill you because you were at a wedlock,
So,
right? Because look at Game of Thrones.
Do
Maybe
you
that shit
think?
happens.
Do you think we're gonna get like a Man of Steel kind of thing here, where the tornado's coming in and Superman has to stay back and not save his dad? You think Aquaman is gonna be thrown in a situation where tsunami's coming and his dad's gonna be like, no, don't.
First of all, Man of Steel is such a piece of shit movie for moments like that. And I'm sorry just to bring that up. When you bring that, that just triggers me. The fact that his dad is about to die in tornado, and it's, don't save me, and he just lets his dad fucking die. Right there, I can no longer connect with that character. When like a year later, he's like, I'm Superman. It's like, oh, your dad died for nothing, you fucking nuts and bolts. I don't know if his dad's gonna die in this movie, because we see him in present day. We see him in present day. Which one shot I do like is when like the entire ocean's coming up and it's like a big boat and it's just crashing on the land and they're driving. I like that, and he's in the passenger seat with them. So maybe he dies at that point, or he is kept alive in the movie and he's just safe. I think he's alive because, from my understanding, Nicole Kidman is dead in present day. So I think they might keep his pop alive, and that might be his tie to home, right? To always come back to, you know.
So do you see the lighthouse getting destroyed?
Sure. I
I
don't think
I
the
feel like
lighthouse
that's
is
gonna
fucking
be caught up in
matter.
Huge shot. You know when Aquaman is there and he's saving his dad.
No!
His brother comes up and destroys the lighthouse. And
Not the
Aquaman's
lighthouse
like,
keeper.
Bruh. Yeah,
I'm not gonna
supposed
kill
to-
your dad. I'll kill your lighthouse. And just,
Wow.
yeah, maybe that's what Black Manta does. He is shooting rays at something. There's
Yeah.
big explosions. So.
Big
Mind
explosion.
games.
Dylan, how do you feel about that Black Man? I feel like that's the type of look you might not like.
I feel like it was only a very quick glimpse.
Oh yeah, it was. They're creeping them
Yeah.
hush hush. You know,
I don't
so.
know. I need to see it again. to be
This is some
honest.
good CGI, that's for sure.
It was.
I think it's CGI
It wasn't the
practical.
worst CGI I've ever seen, but I didn't. It didn't blow me away. I wasn't like, wow, that's the coolest character.
I think it's gonna be a little of both. I think it's they've have a practical suit and he's wearing it, so I think it's gonna be. I don't know what would be the best example.
It's no
Like,
Shazam suit, that's for sure.
I think it's like Black Panther, where sometimes he's in the like it's a CGI Black Panther suit, and then and same thing as Spider-Man, right? So I think it's kind of a combo, like any.
You gotta get it down though.
Yeah,
Why are people saying
I just love that helmet.
hashtag Black Manta?
because the black. That's
the
what we're
trailer
talking
came
about
out,
right
yeah.
now.
Okay.
Taylor, you're losing them.
Yeah, I can't actually.
Sorry.
I can't actually find one from the actual movie,
I
but
thought that was it right there on the left.
this one?
Yeah.
No, that's not a shot from the movie. There,
Oh.
you know. I'll find it in a second. Do we have anything else to add on Aquaman or anything like that? Yeah.
No, I think not.
First trailer's out.
Me is Agua.
I'm trying to think when the next trailer will be out. Because what are we
Movie
in?
comes out in December, maybe.
There's one little quick
September.
up on there, you know. So.
Yeah, he looks like a Power Rangers villain.
That's what I say. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. So yeah, I'm very excited for. I don't know the actor, so I don't know. All I've seen him in Baywatch, and that movie was awful.
Hopefully
So.
it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
Jake
points.
Gyllenhaal. Shazam! Let's talk
Shazam.
about Shazam next. Dylan, you want to take it? Number one Chuck fan in this room.
Yeah, I really like the show Chuck. It's a show that I don't know. Have you seen it, Kirkland? I feel like you'd like Chuck.
I feel like I would.
Do you know the
So
show?
that's a-
I know of the show.
Yeah,
I've never seen an episode, but
it's enjoyable.
if it's on Netflix, I would totally watch it.
It was on Netflix at the time.
Well, I did not
I
watch
watched
it.
it on there. 4 seasons. Yeah. So from that show, I've developed a big
Man crush.
big sure. Yeah,
Okay.
man crush on Zachary Levi.
Zachary, not that big of a man crush.
I
Your
wasn't
his name is
totally
Zachary
confident
Levi.
on
Yeah.
his name.
Jimmy Fallon wannabe.
So you can see why I was incredibly disappointed by his role in the Thor movies. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
that was awful. And then
Thor Ragnarok.
Then his death.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
was
yeah.
it? Thor?
He's just like
He's one of the Three's Company. You know.
the Warriors three. He's like the three buddies. There's like the guy that eats a lot. There's the guy with the mace, and then there's the guy with the
like
Pierre.
her
Not the
crew.
Pierre. What is
You remember
his-
Sif?
This is Thor Ragnarok?
Pierre.
Pierre.
He's a rock
They're
dude.
in Ragnarok
He's a rock
very
dude, right?
briefly. They're more in the first two Thors.
Oh, okay.
But they're not
He's
even in
He's,
those.
literally, he's just a side character.
He has
Yes.
one line in Ragnarok, I think. Right?
Yeah, and then he
he
might have
dies.
3 in Dark World, and he's not in the first Thor. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a
It's-
recast.
It was very. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
The actor's like, this character's going nowhere. Let me out of my contract.
You made a good choice.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that this that he gets recast into Shazam, and I quite like this trailer. You know, it's something. It's a different take, obviously for DC, but also it's hashtag fun. You know, they're really going for that fun thing.
This is real hashtag fun though.
Yeah.
Like legit.
But
Teraflops.
but it seems like this is
Floor.
something that was intentional from the start. Whereas the other DC movies, that's not where they wanted to be, but people didn't like what their movies were. So they're like, okay, we got to switch it up. And then they had like different directors who were like, some of them were the fun directors, some of them were the serious directors. Big problem. Whereas Shazam from the get-go seems like it's always been like, okay, we want to make this kind of a little more cheesy, more like his suit, obviously. Out of any superhero suit that we have right now, it's like the most colorful, the most flashy, and I like it. I think it fits the character. I like the humor of it. I like the setup because it's just like, I don't know what kind of. It seems like it'll be a very small, contained film.
Oh yeah.
There's not going to be any world-ending stuff going on. I think it'll be more just a fun, along for the ride kind of adventure. Yeah, let's hope not.
Or Aquaman shows up. I need your help.
Green Lantern pops out of nowhere. That's my story. So I really like the vibe they're going for here, and yeah, most of the comedy landed for me, and yeah, it just looks like a good fun flick. And Zachary Levi he's a good dude. He's got the charisma. He's like a mini Chris Pratt, He's on
That's
the
what
come
I
up.
said in my chair reaction. He felt like Star-Lord in this big time, especially when he's walking out of the.
Kind of like a doofus sometimes.
Yeah, when he's walking out of that gas station, he's like, "Hey, I'm a superhero." I was like, "That's full on Chris Pratt." That's fine.
Who's the director for this one?
Why did I forget his name? I was just talking about him the other night. It's David something. I'll find out. He directed Lights Out, and he directed Animal 2.
Animal 2.
Lights Out. Did anyone ever see that movie?
Yeah, I like it.
Really?
Yeah. It's a good little.
Did anyone ever see that movie?
And it was successful, so yeah, it did. Oh, I'm not gonna look. Hang on, it's David S. Sandberg. So I don't need that. David S. Sandberg.
He read it. I see his screen.
It's loading.
It's
Look,
right
it's
on
still
there.
loading.
Look at the other tab.
Yeah. Yeah, David S. Sandberg. So I explained this a few days ago, but he directed the short film Lights Out. James Wan said, hey, I really like that. You should make that in a movie. James Wan directed Aquaman. They made a movie, Lights Out. That was successful. He did Annabelle 2, which was successful. And now he's doing Shazam. So, yeah.
Yeah, this seems like I feel like sometimes origin stories, almost feels like.
No S, though. It's just David Sandberg.
Ooh.
Yeah, where'd the S come from?
Yeah.
Do you know him personally?
Why'd you go, ooh?
Because the S.
Oh, that's a game changer right there. I'm not gonna see this movie anymore.
Fuck everybody.
Yeah, sometimes the origin story aspect of these comic book movies feels like it just has to be there. So they have like a segment or they have like various segments of the movie where they just got to get through it.
Yeah.
And obviously in the TV shows it's different because they have a lot of time to do that stuff and they can stretch it out. But in a movie, sometimes you kind of just got to pack it in there and get on with like the main plot of the movie. But this seems like a lot. Like it'll probably be really the origin story aspect of it, like figuring out what his powers are, what he's doing, how it's happening. Like I feel like that could go like halfway through the movie. Just like that kind of basic stuff, getting to know the character, building up that relationship. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. It just feels like something different, and yeah, like it has me excited because while I wasn't a big fan of the Aquaman trailer, obviously we just talked about, but this is potentially turning a new leaf for DC and like maybe going down some new routes because obviously Aquaman's still part of that phase where it's like part of all the stuff we have already that has had a lot of problems like picking up. But Shazam, I don't know, they haven't had any director changes, right? Like since the beginning it's always been the same guy, so it seems like full like.
Neither is Aquaman to its defense, though, and I will say it does look a lot.
Maybe Aquaman's in murky waters because of Justice League.
I think he just has like the baggage of like, oh, you're in that bad movie. But I think the actual movie looks a lot more colorful than any of like. Squad was colorful, but it was in that weird like.
It was like
punk emo way, yeah. Like everything was fucking neon and like obnoxious. Like you find the most obnoxious green and pink, and that's what was in that movie. Where this like Aquaman did look colorful. So I think it looks different than like a BVS or even a Man of Steel, where like, hey, let's take all the colors and take them down by 10 and like just make it a gray movie, you know. So I think both movies are like a sign that they're going a different way. Which I will say, I'm never gonna call it this. but they've officially labeled these DC films as the world of DC. I'm sticking with DCU. I know that's not the proper term.
You know what? They're setting up an amusement park that they're going to call the world of DC.
But fuck the world of DC. So like, I guess that's like these movies, and whatever that Joker movie will be in something else. But yeah, because DCEU was technically the actual never term. It was like an interviewer coined that, and then everyone just ran with it.
Oh.
So, but I still like it better. So I'm sticking with it because I'm not calling the world of DC. I'm not fucking Five Guys. Come on now.
My only other thing to say on Shazam is, holy shit, Zachary Levi is fucking jacked, dude.
No, he's not jacked.
Well, at least in this trailer, like the way they show it off, you know.
That suit is really padded, legit.
Yeah.
If you see him in person, like he's bigger, but and it's not his fault. He didn't get much time to work out with it, but he's nowhere near that big. He's like, I guess I know you mean from Chuck, but like that suit's really
I'm
padded.
just not used to that.
Yeah.
Like, it really threw me off.
And so I don't like
Big
it.
shoulders. That's all I gotta say.
They're almost
Shoulder
too
pads,
big. It's
yeah.
fine.
I wonder if it'll like look
I
weird
do-
for the entirety of a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they can get away with it because it's almost being cheesy that like it can look a little
That's
off,
why I
right?
like it, because that's what I was saying. Like,
Right.
the suit just looks so out there, and I feel like it would fit this movie really well.
I think it does. I think it's, and obviously they're not going this right now. I think I'd be more worried if the DCU was still like trucking along and they're like at some point this guy's gonna be next to Batman. I'd be like, you put him and Batman next together, like he's gonna stand out to look quite bad. But you never know, it could work.
you never
but
know.
yeah, padded suits,
Padded suits.
big time padded suit.
Passing it off.
It's more
All right. I really enjoyed this trailer. I'm just gonna quickly compare. I know it's different movies, but just quickly compare like this origin compared to Aquaman origin.
Mhm.
I feel like this was just filmed so much better. Like it shows. I know it's like a kid, and like it goes to like the orphanage, and it just kind of progresses, and then like where he meets the guy, who's like previous Shazam. I guess who that is.
The
I don't know.
Wizard.
The Wizard.
Mhm.
Okay. Machete. I'm just gonna call him
That guy is
Machete.
in 3 separate comic book movies in the next year or two. He's in Captain Marvel. He plays that guy in Guardians. I can never remember his name. It's like Korg or not Korg. It's like it's Korak or something. The guy when he's like, my name's Star Lord, and he goes, who? So he's that
Oh.
guy.
Oh.
And then in Aquaman, he actually plays the Fish King. They show a king that
So I guess
in
this is
CG.
before the comic book draft, because that would have been a prime
Holy
pick.
in
fuck,
CGI,
okay.
and then he's in this. So he's
Yeah.
in 2 DC movies and a Marvel movie.
Wow.
He's
Good for
making
him.
bank. Yeah.
Highest paid actor.
And I can't say his name because he's African. It's like DJMIOUND, and then his last I can't.
It's
So
a full
I don't
story.
say it because
Symbol
out of
in there,
disrespect.
question mark.
Because I'm saying it not out of disrespect because I would just screw it up. So, but yeah, the Wizard.
Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly shout that out. I think this one just looks like such a good, like a safe movie, right? Like it's almost like the first Ant-Man is what I kind of think of with it. Like it looks fun, but like it kind of shows the origin stories of that character. But it's definitely safe. Like it's gonna be him figuring out what's going on with like his powers and all that stuff. And then they briefly showed the villain there.
Yeah.
Is he a
Can't
comic
remember
book
his name.
character?
Yeah, he is. I'll find out. Shazam is not in my forte, but he's played by Mark Strong. So
Yeah, I saw that. I like that
Strong.
actor. He's a good scary
I know
guy.
he's Doctor something, the villain, something
it's
like
gotta be
that.
Doctor.
So
Dr. Doom.
I'm gonna have to actually fucking read some Shazam coming up, unfortunately.
Yeah, Travis is a big Shazam hater.
I told this to Dylan offcast. I was just as a kid never needed to read about a kid. You know, I wanted to read
Yeah.
about adults. And I didn't need to read about a kid being a superhero. It's like I live that. You know, I don't need to read. You know, it's
Okay.
All right, then I'll give you that one. But
Dr. Savannah is who he
Dr.
plays.
Savannah.
Sivan.
You've just given the accent. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I really like this trailer. It got me really excited. I didn't know anything about Shazam, and I'm actually really excited for this movie. It looks like it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be just entertaining throughout. The scene when they're like showing off like the flight test, it totally made me think of like the first Iron Man when he's doing like his test and like, the jump things, and like I love that scene. Like it was hilarious. I really like the soundtrack. I'm very biased because I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. How did you like it? Notorious hip hop hater in trailers.
Yeah, it's hard for me. We just watched 4 trailers in a row, so that sometimes it kind of amalgamates. I can't really pick it up.
That's fair.
that Godzilla roar is just overbearing everything else.
Yeah, it was pretty well in the Shape of Water music. Yeah, that's the one I can remember right now. So.
Alright, I had to ask.
None of that. I can't really differentiate a lot of the hip hop music, right? Like
Okay.
to me, all kind of just
It's all
sounds similar because I
yeah.
haven't.
They all sound the same too.
Because I haven't invested the time, right? So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
fair.
the difference.
You gonna invest time?
I gotta prepare for this movie. So listen to all his stuff.
All
you
the
know,
hip-hop.
Listen to Ice Cube and like You know,
Iced
whoever else
tea.
the kids are listening to these days.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Anyone with ice in their name.
What was that drink you were gonna have earlier? The
Samosa.
anyway.
Mimosa? Mimosa?
Jason Samosa.
You were talking
I
about-
swear you said mimosa.
You were talking about
earlier.
some like
Probably did.
latte that you London Fog. Yeah.
Yeah, London Fog.
That's my favorite rapper, London Fog.
London Fog.
That could be a good.
London
if he's
Fog
from
and
like,
nutmeg.
if he's
If
from,
He's from
London,
Britain? Oh yeah, he got
he's
that
such a
on
good.
lock.
London Fog.
Going back to Shazam now.
What? Why? Anyway.
I really like the look of him. It's very different from like any other like DC, especially DC, because DC's notoriously like dark. Like I feel like
I'm pretty dark. Yeah.
who would be the brightest DC villain you could think of?
Villain?
Or
Daredevil, Joker.
sorry, superhero.
Probably Flash.
Yeah.
They tried.
Cyborg.
I guess his suit doesn't
time.
it kind of looks.
Oh,
like
you,
Flash.
oh, you're
Like,
thinking.
you got the
Oh,
color
you're
tone.
thinking just like look wise.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're talking personality wise. Green Lantern because he fucking glows.
I guess
So he's always just in his
Green
ring.
But yeah, like he just seems like so like extra and out there, and I just like how we were talking about like the
Extra,
shoulders are just
heavy.
huge. Like it's just like it's so like over the top, and I
Mhm.
actually really like it. I
Yeah.
feel like they're doing it in a way that
It's consistent.
it's really gonna help the film.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like the little jokes that they had in the trailer, I really liked. So to get this straight, so he's a kid, but when he's the Shazam hero, he just becomes the adult.
Yeah,
Like,
he's still a kid. He just has like those
Okay.
powers in the
I
adult
see.
body.
I thought like the whole movie, like he just turned into an adult. Like, fuck your childhood.
No,
kid, you're
because
an adult.
remember
now.
at the end of the trailer, he says Shazam and he changes to an
Oh, okay, yeah, I
adult.
missed that. I
So-
don't
Have you ever seen the movie Big? With Tom
No.
Hanks?
I'll go small. Tom Shanks.
Not the popular one.
Tom Shanks.
Good movie. Everyone go watch Big.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this. The trailer was good.
I'm super stoked for this movie. You know, it's like I said a while ago. I think DC has the opportunity to, with Marvel kind of taking the lead with their main head honcho characters and superheroes. I feel like DC should have honestly put Batman.
Always sounds like a backhanded compliment when you say
Well,
it.
I feel like DC
Head
should have
honcho.
taken, you know, like as cool as they are, they're Flash, you know, Superman, Batman, Joker, all that stuff. I feel like they should have put them on the side back burner for now and focused on doing movies like this, like Shazam, and different kind of origin stories for different characters they have in the comic book verse that people don't fully know or are well educated on. Yeah, well established. I think that would have been a great way not only to compete with Marvel, but to create a new variety of superhero films out there. And I feel like this is a great way that they're finally attacking this problem and situation for themselves.
They are making a Joker movie though, just to shut.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think, you know, it's something definitely that's, you know,
They're
I'm
making
glad
it
this
they
is,
need it too.
this is coming out first, and I feel like they're. That being said, you know, yeah, do a Joker standalone origin movie. That's great, but just they tried to do so much at the beginning that didn't work for them. Attach it to their main characters and hope that would compete with Marvel when it just wouldn't, because Marvel was established for over a decade.
Oh, totally. I feel like the problem, like a big problem with DC is they're just trying to force them all together.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing it like elegantly like Marvel did. Like you got Feige just like pulling the strings for all these years, just making this
Well,
masterpiece.
he's had a decade to put his jigsaw puzzle together. Marvel's like fucking fit,
Yeah, exactly.
or DC's like fucking fit.
Yeah. Fucking fit.
Two stamps.
Yeah, but going forward, I'm excited that they actually like declared that they're gonna just like
Declared.
focus on
They declared
like the
bankruptcy.
solo like standalone movies.
Well,
right?
you know, when Justice League is the worst movie financially that he put out, I think you're like, yeah, fuck, we're not gonna make any more crossovers
They declared
for a
it.
while.
Yeah.
I feel though
Declaration
after
of
Aquaman
independence.
kind of goes, depending how that's gonna do, I feel like it'll definitely, I feel like it'll leave it up or. Fuck, how do I say that? Be up for discussion whether or not they pursue that kind of line of movies, which I'm pretty sure they're inclined not to, and I think they're going to focus
What
on
do you mean
these
by
more-
that line of movies? So Aquaman is also not, like, yeah, because of Justice League, but he's not, like, Wonder Woman's not popping up. Like, it's a solo adventure. Like, I don't think they are interested in building towards a Justice League 2 or anything like that.
I know, but I
anything-
think-
Same thing Wonder Woman, they said, is that it's just its own separate thing. There's nothing like, oh, eventually we're going to team them up again. I think they're like, no, we don't need to do that.
So you think they'll go to like Aquaman 2, possibly?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. If Aquaman 2 is successful, yeah, it'll be the same way as Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman happened, and now they're making Wonder Woman 2, which is standalone, has nothing to do with Justice League or anything like that.
Okay.
I don't think they're building that universe anymore. I think they're just using those characters and hoping they can get some movies out
Well,
of
then
it.
I'll say I think they'll leave it to decide whether or not they really focus heavily more on creating new films for these exclusive characters that don't have well-known origin stories and that sort of stuff.
So
Because
just new characters, you mean?
yeah, like I've never heard of Shazam up until the point where you told me to do the thumbnail with it. Like I was like, who
Really?
is this
Wow.
character?
Yeah, I
Like
never heard
he's
of
got the
Shazam.
Flash logo here, but no helmet. Like what's going on?
His name was originally Captain Marvel, but they changed that because Marvel.
Okay,
Captain
that was
Marvel.
confusing because I saw
Yeah.
Captain Marvel and I'm like, okay, but rip-off, copyrighted infringement here. Like
He was first. He was first called Captain Marvel,
Captain
and he would
Marvelous.
just yell Shazam, but then they changed it.
interesting.
Shazam.
Yeah.
As soon as he said Shazam as a little boy in the trailer, I'll quickly say though, Shazam or the trailer was fantastic. The humor really, it tickled me where I itched.
Oh.
It was fantastic.
Throwback.
Watch saying that and little boy back to back. We've had some tweets this weekend.
Yeah, watch the
You know.
tweets.
Delete those
Yeah.
tweets.
Feige, I don't want to get a call from Feige saying I'm gonna have a movie from the GeekVerse.
But yeah, no, the scene at the end though when he's a kid and he says Shazam and transforms to superhero, it made me think of Tobey Maguire going Shazam, go Web go, like I just popped in my head.
I'm
Remember
up and
that?
away, Web.
Yeah, exactly.
Fly.
So just when he says Shazam, it just made me connect the two together.
Go Web, go. Toby should play Shazam, but the
Toby's
kid,
amazing.
like not just the 40
He's
year
like
old.
40 years old.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that movie.
Love this trailer. I think for me, it's my favorite trailer of Comic-Con. I think it might be tied with another one, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But yeah, this trailer, and maybe it's because I had low expectations. When I saw the suit, as far as the set photos, I did not like it. I'm still iffy on it, but with it being a cheesy movie, I think it works and it helps. Right away, they set the tones when he's talking to the wizard. He's like, "What do you gotta say?" Like, "My name's Shazam," and the kid's like, "Shazam," and he's like, "Just say it." And like that right away said, like, okay, they're gonna poke fun at this. All the humor hit for me in this. Even at the beginning when they were talking with the family and said Eddie from It, like when he was just like, oh, you think I'm not a dark kid? This orphan who's crippled? Like, yeah, I have nothing to be dark about. Like, they're even poking fun at them being dark. Like, everything worked, and I think that kid is a great hire because he was great in It, and you need someone to bounce off Zachary Levi, like a strong child actor, and lately Hollywood's been doing a good job. Even the scenes with Billy Batson as a kid, he looked like he was not an annoying kid or anything like that. So yeah, it's just, I'm all for this. I think this movie is gonna be, I don't know if it'll be as big as this, but I think it's gonna be Deadpool level where people are like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a hit, but if it is as good as this trailer, I think it's gonna be good, and this is gonna be a movie that'll have a lot of repeat viewings, or a lot of people saying, hey, you need to go see Shazam, because it's gonna be not connected to anything else, and this is a movie easily my mom, my sister, someone would go see, because yeah, it's a superhero movie, but it's like, it's its own thing, and it's just gonna be funny, and it's almost, I don't think it's gonna be a parody of the genre, but I think it's gonna have little, nods to it. Like even that training,
not fourth wall stuff.
yeah, like in that training sequence, we see that in every movie, but in most time it's a serious training sequence of them learning their origins, right? Like when they got that shot of Zachary Levi and he's just swinging his arms in the suit, like he looks like such a fucking goof. Like even the way he flies just comes down. Like I think this is a movie that will be really enjoyable. So I think it's gonna be a huge hit, and I think. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens after Aquaman. I don't think Aquaman's gonna be a bad movie. I just want to see how it does money wise, but I think this one. I think it's gonna do well, and then yeah, I'll be excited how they tackle the villain too, because that's one thing when you get a movie that looks completely comedic. Once you introduce the villain in there, how does that go? Didn't work with the first Ant-Man, as that guy was just overly dramatic, and that didn't work out well. And I'd say in the second Ant-Man it works, and non-spoilers though they take a different approach with the villains in that one. So this one is like a one-on-one. So I'll be excited to see him. Mark Strong's like a serious actor, but he can do comedy. He was in Kick-Ass, and he's a very comedic guy, and this is his third DC movie because he was also in Green Lantern too. So hopefully this one pans out for him. So, yeah, no, I got nothing else to say. Shall we move on?
Are we moving to your favorite trailer you said?
Well, yeah, well, I don't know.
It's like I'm trying to figure which one it is.
You think it's Fantastic Beasts? No, let's talk about Godzilla then. Because yeah, I'll start. Because yeah, it's tied to Shazam. I really liked the first Godzilla, but it had its flaws. There's some moments where, they killed Bryan Cranston really early. Aaron Taylor Johnson to me was not the greatest in that movie. This movie looks really unique because I was just expecting another. It might get to that point, but another just like people are living their normal lives and Godzilla shows up, another monster shows up, and they're fighting the city. But the second this trailer starts with them like going in these underwater caves and doing all this experimenting and looking at these creatures and animals and everything like that, and these scientists, like that moment when Vera Farmiga and Millie Bobby Brown are like touching. Do you know which one it was?
Mothra.
Was it Mothra?
I think
that
it was
came down?
Mothra.
Yeah, like these moments that like these creatures
Jaguar.
have been
Please.
made to seem scary and just destroy everything in front of you, and the fact that there's this scene of them connecting with a human, who knows what that actually means in the film. That was something new. The use of Godzilla was, and the use of the score was fantastic. It just had this. It had this completely different tone and feeling than what I was expecting from a Godzilla movie. This felt like almost like an independent Godzilla movie with a budget of like 150, 200 million. Like, I don't know what it is about this trailer, but lots of great actors. Setting looked great. Whatever's happening as far as plot-wise looks new. I'm a big fan of Michael Dougherty. He directed Trick or Treat, one of my all-time favorite Halloween movies. Krampus is alright, but Trick or Treat is phenomenal, so I'm very excited for this. So yeah, this trailer, it blew me away. I think it's just because I'd seen, oh yeah, we're gonna Godzilla trailer. It to me just wrote off of like, okay, it's gonna be monsters fighting. I'm sure it'll be cool. Like I said, I enjoyed Godzilla enough. I enjoyed Kong enough, the newest one. So, but yeah, this looks a lot more. I don't want to say emotional, but there are characters like crying, and the daughter seems like she calls her mother a monster, and clearly you've seen that this family has lost a kid because it's only 3 of them, but they show multiple pictures of like those 3 and a little boy, and that boy's nowhere to be found, so something's clearly happened. So I think it's gonna be much more emotional, which is gonna be weird because this is the lead up to Godzilla versus Kong, which I feel will not be that. I feel like that's just gonna be your monster fighting one, so I might be disappointed by that movie. This movie speaks to me on like a higher level, but yeah, I loved this trailer, and I'm now very, very excited for this movie. And now it has a chance to disappoint me because it could just be a great trailer with a great soundtrack and everything
Just
like
watch
that.
the trailer.
Yeah, and it could be Terminator Salvation all over again. So very excited for this movie. So, and I don't know when it comes out. I'll find
What's the
out.
timing between this and the first movie? Do we
Like
know?
real world or movie world?
In the movie world.
I don't know idea because it looks like the world's not having a good go around.
Yeah.
I'd probably say it'd be like a year or so because they're obviously studying Godzilla and they've been following around.
Yeah, I guess so.
I actually
Maybe.
think I could be wrong. I thought I heard 5 years legitimately
Really?
on a podcast. I could be wrong, but I think it's because the rumor was that after the last movie, Godzilla was so hurt that he's been like in hiding for a long time. So, yeah.
This I love the first Godzilla. I think it was so cool they actually filmed it in parts of my hometown. I think that's
Really?
really cool. Yeah, on Vancouver Island.
Oh, I didn't know.
Super cool.
That's awesome.
I think just as I said, I love
Were you
the first
there?
one.
Did
Were you on
an
the
extra?
cast?
I was there when they were filming, but I didn't get around to actually going to the set where they were doing it. But it was with the train scene, actually, the train sequence with the nuke on the
I
train.
haven't seen.
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I don't remember that.
I got the steel case, and
That's the King Kong.
Yeah, this is Godzilla, not King Kong.
Come on,
This
guys.
is the next movie.
yeah, no, the first film was I thought it was fantastic, and now moving into the second one, this whole universe is super cool. I'm a huge fan of Godzilla. I don't know an insane amount of the lore or the backstory, but with the mutants, aliens, the Earth Defenders, and all that stuff, I just think that it's so cool to see them all come to life in this film. So especially with King Ghidorah, Rodan, Godzilla, and Mothra.
You said
Yeah.
you don't know the background. You
Not
know this
not
shit
not
well,
enough. Not
man.
enough. I think it's so cool to see all this stuff come to life on the big screen, and not just small mini sets and men in these suits just fighting each other. It's just cool to see
What?
the CGI and the animation being thrown into the mix here with these awesome monsters, and it definitely feels like the story is going to be intense. Okay, this mom is obviously trying to do some sort of expedition to wake up some of these monsters, and because actually she was narrating about that, waking them up.
But they
Rodan
have to
flies
find
over a
them.
city and wipes out all these houses, so shit's going down. So I think, God, I'm so freaking excited for this movie. I cannot wait to see it, and
Comes out May next year.
May next year.
Yeah.
Gosh, well,
I'm
as
gonna
much
see what
as
else comes out then.
I hate waiting so long, I mean, it just goes to show so many movies and sequels come out a year after their predecessor, and they're so consistent. But
So
it's nice.
many?
I'd say there's a lot
That come out a year after.
a year, 2 years, yeah.
I'll give you maybe 2 years. I don't think a year. A year's low
That's like
budget
Call of Duty.
horror
And most
movie.
and
yeah.
most,
Infinity
most
War.
times
Isn't
now,
that- so it's
there's
Infinity
Infinity
War?
War.
They
there's
film
Star
those back to back,
Star
though.
Wars. I mean, it's just all this stuff is filmed back to back or consistent. But it's nice to see there's a long break because that's how
Oof, tough month for Godzilla though.
What's
Same
that
month
mean?
as Avengers 4. Same
A
month as
Minecraft
live action
movie.
Aladdin, and apparently there's a Minecraft movie and John Wick 3. When does Godzilla's the last one, so it might be fine, but that's a tough month. What
I
actually
feel like
comes-
John Wick. I feel like they're pumping those out one a year at this point.
Yes, because those are low budget. Oh, June Gambit, Men in Black spin-off, Toy Story 4. So yeah, there's a lot of movies coming out May June slot. So it better be good because Kong Skull Island did well, but it was under expectations money-wise. So it's not like these movies aren't. I think Godzilla was the same too. That it came in like they make money, but it's like they were wanting more from it. So obviously the goal is hopefully Godzilla versus Kong will do that. But you know,
that's the goal.
I just can't
As a
wait to
business.
see the other kind of Easter eggs and story development from this film. Like, there's Godzilla is great, having so many different monsters and so many different paths that they can tackle. I can't remember where I read it, but what's the company that's producing and pumping out the Godzilla movies right now?
I literally just close all the fucking tabs and I had them up there. I think it might. I know Legendary's a part of it, but it's Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers panel. Yeah.
What? I just said Warner B.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that once that contract ends where they're using like Godzilla, then I can't remember the original company is gonna get the rights back and start doing like movies for Godzilla. So like, I'm very excited that I don't know how many more movies they have under wraps that they can do for
Jaguar.
Well, contracts can be re-signed too. So
yeah, but I don't know if they want. I don't know if there will be a reassignment because I feel like the other company that has like the Toho
Reassignment?
Monsters wants to start doing their original content again with all their monsters and stuff. But
I don't know.
I can't remember all the details behind it, so I'm hoping I didn't know that this was. I thought for some reason the next movie we were gonna get was Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, you're
And then,
why you thought
Like
that
after
makes
Godzilla
sense.
2 or right now?
No, like after like King Kong, I thought that this movie
Oh.
was gonna be Godzilla versus King Kong.
And you know what? I asked him. I'm like, it's called Godzilla King of Monsters. He's like, yeah, it's called that because Godzilla
But
would win.
Godzilla.
Because Godzilla is king of the monsters.
And I'm
He
like,
just
yeah, but
always
they're not gonna
wins.
like imagine BVS being called Batman,
But
King of Superheroes.
King Kong always dies. So
Yeah, but this is different. King Kong never got off the island by himself. You know, like they've clearly changed what happened in King Kong. So,
but yeah.
So do you think King Kong versus Godzilla? I don't know why that was so hard to say. That's probably not next year. Maybe 2 years from now is what you're thinking.
I think it's like 2020 or 2021.
Oh really?
Well, because if this comes out 2019.
Because I was just thinking like Kong came out last year.
Yeah.
But the first Godzilla movie came out probably like 5 years ago now, right?
Just a long time ago.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they would want to do another Godzilla. I think just to kind of get people talking about it again.
Yeah,
Get people
and
to
that's
remember.
a safe way to
Get
do
people
it too.
to-
2020. So it's a year after. So next year would be King Kong or Godzilla King of Monsters, and then
Mhm.
you know.
I do.
And because Kirkland, you saw Kong, yeah?
Yep.
And you haven't seen Godzilla just like me, so
I've
maybe.
seen the first one.
Oh, you have.
Yeah.
I thought you said you hadn't seen it.
No, I don't remember the train scene.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
The original Godzilla that
No
this was
problem.
based off came out in 2014. So yeah.
4
years ago.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
4 years ago.
I think then
14.
you're right. That's a really good idea that they do have this film coming out just to remind people
well,
of Godzilla.
because this will motivate me to watch that first Godzilla movie, which I've never really had that motivation. I was like, oh yeah, it's a Godzilla
Scarlet
movie.
Witch is
I'll
in
see it at some point.
Yeah, and
Really?
Yeah.
As like doing
That's
magic and
Scarlet
stuff.
Witch, yeah.
Twins are
Wow.
married to each other. Not really.
And Walter White.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
kissing in the movie. It's kind of
Oh
weird.
shit.
Yeah.
That's a
Kinda
real.
weird.
They're not, it's actually
actually
weird because in the
siblings.
X-Men comics sometimes they're incestuous, so you
I
gotta
don't know if I
get
can
creative
handle
there.
that.
Yeah.
It's not
The-
illegal. It's frowned upon.
The one thing that I will take away though, I think this trailer looks great. I think having all four of these monsters clash and who knows whatever else is in there that they didn't show in the trailer is going to be amazing. But I definitely am. I feel as cool as King Kong is, and I definitely like the King Kong movie. I own it, but I
own it.
Why do you always have to do that?
The steel case. Like,
I just feel like moving into Godzilla vs. King Kong is definitely a little bit of like a low. I feel like it's a lower kind of tier drop off after you have these OG great monsters, Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan versus
I don't think
Godzilla
so at
going down
all.
to King Kong. I feel like it is like.
Because none of our mothers know those fucking names. They know who King Kong is.
I don't even know those
Yeah. So
I
from a
played that
mainstream,
game.
if you put a movie called
Xbox.
Godzilla versus
Didn't
Mothra
check
or
that.
Godzilla
Check.
versus King Kong, that one's gonna make more money.
It's definitely
It's
more
like big Batman
mainstream.
versus Shazam.
But
You're
for
like,
me,
what?
me as a fan, it's just like, well, let's say like if there was a huge lore based on Batman versus Shazam, it was massive. But mainstream, they just decided to go with Batman versus Superman. Like as a fan, you'd be like, oh, I really wanted it to
No,
be.
but I would understand because this is something from a different universe. This is big. The same reason why it's like Batman has all his rogues and everything like that. And yeah, Batman and the Joker might be a bit more interesting story, but a bigger story is Batman vs Superman because it's like, wow, it's this hero from another
But I'm not
world.
saying based on an interesting story. I'm just saying, like, because we're getting it.
What
We're
are you
getting
saying?
we're getting the movie King of Monsters where he versus all these guys. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in the order of things. I feel like they should have switched it
But
around.
we don't know if it's him versus all these monsters like a handicap match. It could be a big free for all with all of them, and he
Well,
just comes out on top.
isn't
Like
this
it's,
Well, the
story-
only one that really would help Godzilla is Mothra. The rest are all.
Yeah,
they're-
but-
Isn't the
It's
story
a
though?
new
It's just like
movie.
these random monsters that come, then they have like the
Yeah.
Godzilla, the Mothra to
Yeah.
defend. That's the story.
Well,
right?
Mothra is an Earth Defender. Godzilla is an Earth Defender. Ghidorah is an alien, and Rodan, I think, is. I can't
It's a
remember.
new
I
franchise.
was gonna say you
I
don't know
think-
anything about the lore, and it's like
You know
Jeez.
everything.
It's a new franchise. They can do what they want, and yeah, I guess like there's some lore, but in this world, there's not. They've never had any interactions with these monsters. They're meeting them for the first time. They've had a King Kong movie, and King Kong's a bigger character overall. King Kong's arguably, I'd say, bigger than Godzilla from popularity.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
Godzilla's got more movies.
That doesn't
I
matter.
think Godz-
Resident
yeah,
Evil has
Godzilla's
more
more
movies
old
than
school.
Godfather, and
I
that
feel like
doesn't make
Godzilla's
shit.
more of like to the east, right? In like Japan and stuff.
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
Well, they
exactly.
just released an independent Godzilla movie over there, like Shin Godzilla, and that's available here, and it's like a huge hit.
If you look at a list of like
A
the
Netflix special.
If you look at the list of like greatest like 50 moments in movies, Godzilla doesn't have any of them. King Kong on top of the tower, that's like an iconic
Yeah.
film image that everybody
Especially in
talks
like
about.
America, right?
Yeah,
I
and
feel
that's
like-
all I'll give you. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe in Japan, but here, North America, King Kong clearly is the bigger one.
He's
I don't know
Googling
why
it
you're
right
gonna.
now.
What are you gonna Google? They
He's
can
gonna
have
go
more
through
than
various
just
top
take-
50 greatest movie lists of all time.
Like, what are you
See
looking
Godzilla.
for?
Like who's cooler, Godzilla or King
Yeah.
Kong?
Alright, you guys want to talk about this one?
I'll
Yes,
I'll
yeah.
transition over to me.
Wow. No, that's good. Go. You go.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
You done?
I go. I haven't even started.
I really enjoyed this trailer. I honestly forgot that there was gonna be like a King Kong and Godzilla crossover.
Mhm.
So that
They're not really
that's
promoting it.
surprising.
It's just
No.
kind of like you know about it in the underground. You know, like, oh,
But that
it's
might be a
There's
good
no
thing
flag
because
games
what if
now.
they just hype it up and then it's so bad?
True.
You know?
Well,
But,
the other reason why they might not is because if one of these movies bombs, they just might be like, we're not gonna do
Write
this.
it off,
you
yeah.
know.
But yeah, like growing up, I was always a huge Godzilla fan. Definitely more than King Kong, if that helps Taylor's argument at all. But like you said, I kind of forgot about the score, but when we rewatched it again, it's like phenomenal. I definitely had Bioshock like vibes, and it's totally different genres and everything. But I love that underwater with that little music.
Mm-hmm.
You said Shape of Water. I haven't seen that movie yet.
And it's in multiple other it's a classic, like,
Yeah.
it's some tune, but, like,
Yeah.
many movies use it. I don't know what it is, but...
Sellouts, man.
Yeah.
Where's the originality?
Yeah, I really like the score. I really like the way that it was filmed though, because it wasn't just like promoting like like Sunday, get Godzilla versus this guy for
Yeah.
a big battle out, right? Like it was actually like
It's more artsy,
yeah,
like, the way
no,
they're
definitely.
flying around and
yeah,
stuff.
and it
you know.
kind of like how you said though, like you don't want to say like it's an emotional film, but it's I don't know the perfect word to describe it, but it's more of as opposed to like Transformers where it's just action, it's more of like the I can't think of the word,
I saw
but
your eyes,
it's
though.
like a person.
More of a
Yes,
character. I don't know what's gonna be a character. So that's like the trailer
Yeah.
makes it look like it's gonna be more about the world and what these people are going through
Mhm.
instead of the monsters, which is fine because
Yeah.
you can't really get an arc with Godzilla. You know, like
You could.
Yeah.
he's not known to always show up on set on time and put in a A+ performance.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
But like the characters, I don't know much about them, but the
No.
characters look cool about like have that like internal struggle of like they lost the family, so they'll be like the family members kind of like butting heads a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in to see what's going on like with that underground thing. I don't know if they're just doing tests on the monsters or like getting I don't know.
I hear they want to open a park.
They want
Spare no expense.
Godzilla
life
World.
finds a way.
Godzilla.
Attached
But
to DC World.
yeah, like I'm always a huge fan of Godzilla. I haven't checked out the Netflix.
You're an
I
anime
haven't-
fan. It's a good time.
The animation is what throws me off though, because it looks like it's almost glitchy.
And the thing that throws me
Some
off is the
moments.
poster too. Godzilla's like the smallest thing on the poster. Like it's all like the humans, and Godzilla's like small in the corner. Like,
They're
what the
giving
fuck
the
is that?
humans a bit more.
The humans
Yeah.
are giants.
Oh.
The Godzilla's just a little rodent.
It's an origin story.
Yeah.
There's a little baby Zilla.
Oh,
That's a
nice.
conversation for another day though.
Okay.
Right now we're talking about King of Monsters
Yes.
and Godzilla, I thought he looked badass in the first movie. Obviously, it's the same Godzilla, so it looks sick in this movie too.
Same guy.
Mothra
And then
looks
came back.
sick.
Yeah.
Just seeing, like, you don't get like a full out like image of Mothra, but just seeing like the shadow flying over the city, like that looks so sick. And what's the 3-headed guy? What's his name?
King Ghidorah.
Cerberus.
King
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah. King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah.
Hey, that's a parody
Watch those
version.
tweets, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, you see this King Ghidorah movie? You're out.
But yeah, no, that looks cool. And then you said there's gonna be another one.
There's
Jet Jaguar.
Mothra.
He doesn't know that much
Butterfly.
though, so don't
There-
question him too
I know.
much.
There's Rodan, who is like that pteranodon looking guy.
He's the
Was that
villain
in the
from
trailer?
Guardians.
That was in the trailer. Yeah,
Rodan the
he, like,
Accuser.
he was the one who flew over the city because he.
Oh, that wasn't Mothra then.
No, Mothra was the one opening up the wings and
Right.
then the head that the girl touched.
Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that they don't just show the monsters in their entirety in this movie. It kind of has that like mystery feel of like when you first watch Cloverfield,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the first one, where
Yeah.
you're like the biggest is like suspense is like I just wanna know what it looks like, right? So
Let me see.
I'm excited. I enjoyed the first one,
Whose
so
monster
the
is it?
second one I'm sure will be great.
Yeah.
I love all the characters.
Yeah.
Huge Stranger Things fan, so Millie Bobby Brown in there. That was
Millie B.
a
Yeah.
big surprise for me.
Always
at
playing
least.
the kid in distress. I just want to see her in a fucking comedy next year, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's depressing life. It's not gonna
She'll
turn
be
out
in
well.
It Part 3.
One of those
She'll
child
be in
actors
what?
that
Yeah,
starts
it's
doing
Chapter
coke.
3.
there's no way it's shot.
Ooh, that's rough.
It's
I hope
set
not.
up.
Or did you find anything vital in your search to say that why Godzilla?
I did. I saw a lot of people saying, you know, King
A lot of
Kong.
no, shut
Hear me out, hear me out. A lot of people
It's like
saying
Godzilla fans.
King
not
Kong
Godzilla.
has had the
Trump.
same story told multiple times when Godzilla has the 30-plus movies,
That's
multiple
not-
games.
Taylor,
so
these
many
are
different
just comments
story
you
arcs.
put
Yeah.
on various websites.
And that's not what we
last
said.
week.
We didn't say Godzilla has more creative movies. We just said who's more iconic, and it's King Kong.
I couldn't find who's more
As a
iconic
personal
dot com.
anecdote, it's got to be King Kong.
Yeah. Dylan
I've
hasn't even
actually-
seen that many movies, and it's.
I have
King
never
Kong.
seen
like-
a Godzilla movie in my life.
In your
Yeah,
defense, Taylor, if you go out on the street in like Tokyo, for example, and you ask
For example.
who's more popular,
King Kong.
or Godzilla, they'd say Godzilla, right? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
that's just the culture. But
First
here in
person goes up
America,
to says King
if you
Kong.
go out down, if you just go out down the streets, you're like, what's more iconic, Godzilla or King Kong? I feel like majority would say King Kong.
Can we record this sometime or work on
Let's
one
do
part?
it.
Go downtown like, hey, Godzilla or King Kong?
We're like, fuck
Get
you.
the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Fuck Batman.
I don't think you gotta pose it like that because that's just like who you like more. I think you have to say, give me a scene from a King Kong movie. Okay, give me a scene from a Godzilla movie, and it'd be like, you could get
No,
that.
you but it's like when you have to.
I'm not
when you-
shooting you.
Run to Feige.
yeah.
It's like when you play the same Star Wars video game again and again, and you memorize the storyline. But when you have like
I wonder what game he's talking
you
about.
have 30 other, let's say, Batman games you can play with different stories. You play all those
Star
games.
Wars
You're
Galaxy
not going to be
Quest.
able to remember all the different storylines as opposed to
That's
playing
a
the
bad
same Star
fucking
Wars.
comparison.
No, playing
That
the
was a
same
pretty
Star
weird
Wars game.
comparison.
That does
You
not
play the
make-
same Star Wars game
No.
multiple times, so you get inclined to remember exactly what that storyline is. 'cause
But
you
the
play it
reason
many,
they
many,
did
many
that story
times.
over so many times is because the first movie's so iconic. Godzilla's never had that. They've never had that iconic moment where it transcended being a monster movie to like something emotional, where it's this beast like after this
That's-
woman.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like
very
Godzilla
true,
is
though,
nothing
because
like that.
If you think of like I've seen like old Godzilla films, but I still don't really remember like a key moment, right? Like maybe him just walking through the streets,
Yeah.
just
That's all
terrorizing
you
them.
need.
But
Him
King
going,
Kong,
yeah.
like in all the movies, or not all of them,
Well,
but
I
the
mean,
majority
it's
of
not
them.
gonna be Godzilla at a coffee shop, you know. That's what he does. He walks around, and as he's walking, it destroys anything.
And then
Yeah.
even then,
It's sad,
after
like,
next to
it's just
Godzilla,
friends.
with
It's
King Kong,
very
people
sad.
would probably name next like the iconic scene of the girl. She's always strapped up, and King Kong's there with her, right?
Oh.
Like you could feel like
I'm
there's
intrigued.
multiple in King Kong or Godzilla.
I
I'm
feel
not
like
saying Godzilla are bad
The
movies,
Empire
but-
State Building,
They're-
though, like
they-
that's a big one with the planes.
It is iconic,
Yeah.
but
that scene
then
with Jack
your
Black
regular
running
No,
around
not
with
that
dinosaurs.
I
Your-
love that movie.
your regular media
I
out there and
love it.
everything, you know,
This camera.
so many different franchises that like mock it or
Don't miss the
parody
film.
it or
I'll dedicate this one to your wife
promote
and
it
kids.
too. I find like it's just something that becomes more iconic based on other media kind of boosting it up there too.
I don't think so, but okay.
I fucking love that King Kong movie. What is it, 2006 or something?
Yeah, 2006. What do you think about this Godzilla movie?
I haven't seen. Obviously, I just mentioned this, but I haven't seen the one that came out in 2014. I've never seen any Godzilla movie. The only Godzilla content I've really invested in is that video game that we played on the 24-hour
What's it called?
stream, and I didn't play Godzilla at all.
Save the Earth or something like that. I can't remember the title.
King of Monsters. Yeah, I just played Jet Jaguar when we played that game, so I don't really feel like I even know Godzilla yet. You know, I just wanted Jet Jaguar movie. I can't wait to see that.
It's like
Because I think
that
Jet
scene-
Jaguar vs King Kong. That would be
Like
sick.
that scene when they like first show Mothra like underwater. I just want them to like just totally Photoshop Jet's Jaguar with like that
Jet
big
Jaguar in
smile,
there.
just like.
The Conan.
Pretty freaky, yeah.
Michelin Man suit.
The Conan.
Great character. I will. Yeah, I pretty much. I'm just gonna copy what you guys said. That was an amazing trailer. The pacing, the music was perfect. Built it all up. It looked like I was shocked at what seemed to be like emotional. Like you're gonna get a bunch of emotional moments from this movie. That's not something I would have expected from someone who's kind of doesn't really have the. What is that?
Tom Hiddleston gas mask swinging the smoke.
Yeah,
scene.
it's such a good scene. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. You guys kind of covered it all. It does look like a really good trailer, and it did get me wanting to watch the first one. It's on Netflix, I think. So
It's
It
been
was.
on and off. I don't think it is right now, but
Okay.
you got till May 2019, so I'm sure it might pop up one time.
hopefully it pops back.
Maybe
on.
Disney will just buy it, put it on the streaming app. You know.
Why not?
Fuck
You got
Godzilla.
that money.
Godzilla.
You
It's
wanna-
sick to see Godzilla at Disney World. I'm just gonna put that out there. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Just a full-size animatronic
Yeah,
beast
they
walking
could
around the
totally do
park.
it. Like Rex. What's his name? Rex.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Recta or from Rugrats. Does
Chucky?
anyone know Rugrats?
Yeah.
The giant like Rexar or whatever his name is. Reptar. I think. I remember
Reptar,
that.
yeah.
Reptanius.
Oh man, I love that movie.
You know what I don't love?
Recto-Bismol.
Newt fucking Scamander. Like, fuck Batman, fuck Newt. Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald is dropped.
Crimes
like-
of Grindy.
Second
Better
trailer.
watch
They
those tweets,
grinned.
man.
Yeah, gotta watch those tweets.
The Grimes of Grindelwald.
Good trailer, actually. I think it was better than the first one because the first
Absolutely,
one was
yeah.
like a whole bunch of nothing. They set the stage.
I can't actually remember anything from
Exactly.
the first trailer at all.
It's like, you know,
Well, the
those
first movie.
Godzilla movies.
Not so much even.
I think Jude Law looks fantastic in
Yeah.
this movie. He looks like, and I knew
Jude.
that the second he was rumored to be cast, like if they cast him, this movie will at least be a bit better than the last one. Which the last one it's just your classic fine movie, but fuck is it boring. I'm dreading having to rewatch it again before Fantastic Beasts and Grindelwald. Just drop the Fantastic Beasts thing. Now it's called the Wizardly World. That's like their like MCU whatever thing. Johnny Depp looks good in it. I know people are gonna be very mixed. He was half booed at Comic-Con, so like I know like how do you feel about him personally right now? I understand, especially with tweets stuff going
He's
on.
had some crazy tweets.
Well, yeah, and like there's been a lot of people been like, hey, like James Gunn gets fired, but you have Johnny Depp doing the pirate thing, and you know he's accused of a lot of bad stuff. So how do you feel about
Yeah.
him taking that out of it? Acting wise, I actually like him in this because he doesn't look like he's being too over the top. It looks very subtle. Because I remember in Fantastic Beasts, it even just looked like in his face he was already over at acting. He was just like, I'm Johnny Depp, and I was like, oh no, like he has played like. Johnny Depp can be a great, just regular character actor. After Jack Sparrow, he did like Charlie Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland, Manhunter. Like you always feel like he has to do these crazy, wacky characters. Like he can be a great still actor, and I
What was the
hope
one that
like
he was, like the hitman.
Scissorhands.
the Hitman. Are you thinking Public Enemies?
No.
the tourist. Man.
No.
No.
Morty.
The one-
Mortimer.
You
Way
like
off.
fuck. I remember you guys went and saw it, and
Oh,
Oh,
Black Cloud, Dark Mass, Black Mass.
Black
Yeah, Black
Mask,
Mask,
yeah, he's
yeah.
great in that
Yeah,
movie.
I found it.
And then the other one I love is Donnie Brasco as well with Al Pacino. Like he's great at playing a good evil guy. And the thing is, I don't know if they reshot some stuff because obviously they said that they're not going to talk about Dumbledore and him being gay. And then this week it came out that they have no scenes together. But there's a scene, sorry Jessica and Emily, but there's a scene of him looking at that fucking mirror from what is it, Philosopher's Stone. I don't know what the mirror is called, but it shows what you most
The
desire.
memory mirror.
Is it?
no.
No. It shows what you most
No.
desire, and he sees Grindelwald, which is showing that there's still a connection there. And then he's talking to Newt Scamander about like, I can't fight him. So I like that because one, since this cast started, like we need more just gay representation in general. Like it's not such a taboo thing anymore. It's fucking 2018, and it's just like, oh yeah, like Dumbledore's gay, but we're not gonna talk about it. It's like, why? Like that's like I feel like him being in love with this guy who's like trying to take over the world might be like a tad important. So I know they keep saying like there's 5 movies, we'll get to it, but like I don't know, it seems a little fishy.
I feel like they're being super safe with the way that they're trying to
Yeah.
introduce it, right?
So I think now that there's backlash, they're kind of like, oh, maybe we will do it. So those two look good. I'm not looking forward to spending another 2 hours with Eddie Redmayne. I'm not a fan of him. I'm nothing against him personally. Just every performance, I think he's.
Yeah, what did he do to you, man?
He's a very
Did he
overrated.
like stand you up on a date? Or
One, he took a Oscar from Michael Keaton for a very overrated performance.
he took it.
He
He did it himself.
Wait, who
he
is
stole
this?
it.
Eddie Redmayne
from
plays
him.
Newt Scamander.
Oh, okay.
I'm a wizard, and this is what I do. And it's just nails on. I would listen to Nails on Chalkboard for 5 hours before I had to listen to him
Do other
talk.
people share this feeling?
There's a lot of people that like him, but there's a lot of people in my camp that's like, man, like he's like I don't think the same thing, but a lot of this character, like he's really annoying, and he was really annoying in Fantastic Beasts. I don't like that Dan Fogler's coming back for 2 reasons. One, I didn't find him that funny in the first movie. He's the mug with them. And 2, they memory wipe him at the end of the movie. So it's like, there's huge wars going on. I don't understand why his character needs to come back. Oh, because we need comedic relief. Fuck comedic relief. Like, we don't need it in every movie, but that's what he's there for. I didn't like his scene at the end, like, oh, you don't look an age over 317. I'm
375.
dreading
Get your
most
facts
of
straight.
this movie other than
Facts
the
straight.
Grindelwald and Dumbledore parts. The rest of it just like, it looks like it's going to be like the first time I'm going to be bored and be like, fuck, like, I don't want to be here. And I'll review it because that's what we do, but they just look boring. I want these movies to end and I want to get back to Harry Potter and do those sequels, you know, like, or do prequels of characters like I care about, you know, like do that Snape and Sirius and Potter's
Snap.
parents, like, I don't care about this. We know how the story ends. Prequel thing. This big war could change everything. It changes nothing wrong. Grindelwald goes to jail. That's the end of the story. Like, we know how this goes. So, yeah, I'm not really excited. But the trailer's good.
It's funny because when these movies come out, the last thing I think about is the ending and everything like that that's already been established.
Because
I
the
just-
poster of the movie says the future could change forever.
Yeah, but
the
that's just a
story's
marketing.
set.
That's just a marketing gig or
It's
whatever.
so
I just,
lame.
even though the story is set and everything, and we know it goes to Harry Potter and Hogwarts and
Maybe
stuff.
maybe
I
not
just-
everyone's seen Harry Potter, right? Maybe
Yeah,
they're just like
you know.
wizards.
I
That's
just-
badass.
4 people who have it.
What gets me super excited is just the journey and what we're gonna see in this story. And granted, like a lot of the trailer, it didn't really chive well with me. But
Chive?
yeah.
Okay.
It didn't really chive well with me.
What's
But-
your name? I don't
but,
have a last
It
name.
didn't chive well.
But I really,
What?
Jive.
It's chive.
Yeah, it's Chive.
J-I-V.
Chive is
I'm
Chive
sorry.
is like
something you put on a
on
potato.
food, yeah.
I normally wouldn't just like
Don't put jives on
correct you.
food.
It threw me off because I was
Jive
starting to
this,
second guess
jive
myself.
that.
I'm like,
Jive
have I
Miguel.
been saying that
He's in
wrong?
from Bogota.
But yeah, no, I think like one thing that really just hooked me in was when it was in the classroom and they were doing the ridiculous spell. I just think it was at Hogwarts. I thought that is so cool seeing that throwback, you know, Hogwarts there with Dumbledore off to the side.
I was
I
just
thought it
want
was super
Dumbledore
cool.
to abracadabra him right there, you know.
Jesus.
So,
I don't know. I think
Extremist over here.
extremist.
I'm Voldemort all the way. Come
No,
on.
Tom
let's do
Riddle.
this.
Honestly,
Tom
Tom
yeah.
Riddle's the shit, man.
Jude, he brings the law, and I love him.
Hey Jude.
He brings the law.
Oh, I missed that.
I fought the
That was a
law
great
and the
pun.
law won.
I am the law.
Good pun. Good
But
pun.
no, he's just, it's super cool, his performances, and I think he just fits into the shoes of Dumbledore so good. And I just,
Ooh.
honestly, this, you know, I won't lie, I fell asleep during the first one. I watched it at home, and I watched it at home a year after the movie came out. And I ended up returning the movie and watching the ending on YouTube. And, you know, I just,
Wait, you returned the movie?
yeah, I borrowed it from a friend.
Oh.
I just, it
Got
got,
like a blockbuster story. I'm very confused.
We're closed, man.
it,
we sent
There's
out
still
some
one
tweets.
guy there taking the old, the overdue
But it
movies.
just the one thing I think this franchise, like the Fantastic Beasts franchise, is really struggling with after their first movie is just being so
He's talking
much,
as fast as Travis over there.
Seriously, slow down.
so much. It just feels stagnant at times and just very
Feels what?
stagnant.
It's stagnant, not stagnant.
Stagnant.
Stagnant something that happens to you when you're
Stagnant.
60.
Ooh, yikes!
Stagnant.
But I just hope that this movie picks up and just actually gets a. I think it needs like a little bit more action and less time in the suitcase. I feel like, you know.
That's why I feel like, and that's not even because of the acting. I just feel like Newt as the main character, we're just stuck with this. Like he's always obsessed with these fucking monsters. And I gotta come back to him like, cool, you like little creatures, but I don't give a shit. Like, I'm more interested in even though I know the story, I'm more interested in the Great War and what's happening there. I don't want him back in his suitcase collecting Fantastic Beasts.
I agree. Like, I want to see him whip his wand out of him.
Oh no! Don't send that tweet out. Delete that tweet.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit more like fight scenes and action because, like, I don't know. He wasn't doing much in the first movie. He was like,
He's lame.
He was
Just
like-
say it. He's lame.
like hiding over his jacket and stuff.
And when he does that little thing with when he's trying to get that mom.
Oh, yeah,
he's
like,
not
it
a good character.
It wasn't anything super exciting, and so I hope that they fix that because Dumbledore's like, you got to get in on this, and I.
That's not the exact wording he
He's gonna whip out his wand.
Yeah.
Like, he
Delete those tweets, Dumbledore.
he in the first movie in the first movie you learned that he was like,
For a second, me and Dylan had a conversation last night. Dylan's like, when do you think we can start joking about the James Gunn thing? And I'm like, oh man, I think it's going to be months from now. Here we are,
It's the
day
next-
one.
the next day.
It's the fucking GeekVerse meme.
oh. So one question I have for you though, Newt Scamander.
Scamander, yeah.
Okay, he was wasn't he
Salamander.
expelled from?
Did that
Hogwarts?
sound right to you? Skiminder? Did that sound like, oh, that's an actual name?
I'm not from the Wizarding world, so I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, he was expelled for
If he is
something.
expelled, why is he sent on these
His
missions by
wand.
Dumbledore?
Dumbledore trusts him.
Because
They
honestly,
established
he
that in the
didn't-
first movie that Dumbledore sees something in him.
But if he saw something in him, he
It's
wouldn't
the
have
wand.
fucking expelled
But
him.
Dumbledore's not the
School.
headmaster at this point. He's just a teacher, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
he's the
right.
headmaster
Oh shit.
Fuck.
Jesus. Let's censor this.
Oh my god.
No one censored our tweets.
Headmaster versus Ocean
We're
Master.
not directed to Car.
Versus Bush. It all works. You think about it that way.
What do you guys think about this master business going on?
What's sorry?
Master business.
Master business. Are you done?
Master business.
Seem like you're mid.
No,
Or you're
I'm
just reaching for more puns.
I'll see this movie in theaters.
Will you?
You didn't see the first one.
I know, but I'm gonna see this in theaters with you guys.
Yeah.
Aw.
With us.
Yeah, because you're all going.
Are
What
we?
if I don't want to go with
I
you?
have to go.
I think you'll go.
Yes, I gotta
Yeah.
review it.
For
It's
the boys.
even though actually, like, we will, but Fantastic Beasts was like one like our low. I remember there was a time where when we first started the podcast, you can always see a jump between newscasts and then movie reviews, and that was the first movie review we ever did where it's the exact same as the newscast. Like, well, this is not our audience, but we're gonna do it because Jessica's gonna force us to do it. So you know.
Force us.
Yeah, I really like this trailer. Definitely comparing it to the first one. It's just a lot more was going on. I like the look of Johnny Depp. I must be in that minority group. Or did you say it's 50-50?
I didn't mind the look. I think it's just the first time we saw the movie, he was just doing like crazy eyes.
Yeah, but you
and,
said like 50-50. Like a lot of people won't like the look. A lot
I
of
feel like
like
people are
it.
iffy just on him in general.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Okay.
it's kind of It was at Comic-Con. He was like he got a lot of cheers, but then like
Yeah.
a lot of people were booing him apparently because
Yeah.
he showed up in character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on stage. So I
Classic
think it's
Johnny
50-50
Depp
on how you feel, and that's a you know.
Didn't he do that once? It's like
Johnny
Jack
Depp.
Sparrow, and he was like throwing bottles of rum
rum?
at
Oh
people.
yeah, kids, bars.
I mean, you go to the child's hospital.
That's part of the reason why he's in trouble is throwing
Fuckers.
bottles at people. So you know.
Gotta get in character.
Jared Leto
Um,
style.
Sorry, wife.
But yeah, no, I like the trailer.
Oh, watch those tweets, Travis.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah. Every cast reaches this point.
Yeah.
This is day 5 of podcasting.
Here you go, Kirkland. Here's your break.
All right, here's my break.
Enter.
There's honestly not much to say. Like the first movie was definitely forgettable. It was very boring.
Easily
This one looks like there's a lot more going on, a lot more action.
It does.
Probably won't be as much of a snoozer. When I first saw like that trunk thing that they showed out with the ridiculous spell, like I really didn't like that. I felt like they were just
Really?
really trying to link that to the Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
But like now that I think about it, I do like that now. That's very. That did not segue that properly.
Cool thing
But-
to shout out there, though, it goes to show Dumbledore is the teacher of Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
You know what he didn't teach against the Defense Dark Arts was his heart. His great old god there. You know.
The mirror thing, was that in this trailer or was that
It was
Oh,
a
that's
message.
interesting.
Okay, yeah. I
Just
must have
wasn't
missed that.
said with too much grace, but
Yeah, I definitely
It
missed that
happens.
part though.
I've read that about 20 times.
I do like them linking like the old movies to this one though, with just the little. I think the 2 scenes that they did that, right? With
I think it
Yeah.
was more. I think it was better done in this. I remember the first trailer just felt like, hey, remember Hogwarts? Hey,
Yeah.
hey. They were just throwing it at
Just-
you.
yeah.
This felt like it actually had purpose to it. For
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I definitely like what's Grindelwald?
Grindy.
The Grindelwald
The
or
big
just
Grin.
Grinwald?
The grind.
I think it's
or
Grindelwald.
Grindy,
I
Grindelwald.
think like some of it's silent in there, you know.
Yeah, like from the first trailer, I definitely was not interested in him like
Yeah.
much at all. But
Ooh.
this one,
He's
it's
taken
more
by someone
exciting. It
else
seems
anyway.
like he's actually like just flipping the shit pot. You know, like he's just getting shit done. And so that's exciting. Newt.
Nudie.
I don't know, like I definitely understand why he's such a boring character. I'm not a super hater for him, like on him, like Travis is, but he's just so like he's just so neutral, right? Like he's not exciting. He's not
Great character to have.
like he could be the side character. I feel right. Like they could have like a better
Maybe the dead
primary
character.
role.
Put Jude Law in there as number 1 now.
They should.
They
If
should,
these movies were
honestly.
just about Dumbledore, I'd be so much more happier.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like that would have been a good plan, actually. You know, it's fine. I mean, you didn't like him in the first movie. I thought he was okay, but
Yeah.
I think he serves as like a good entrance or like a good reason to go to a bunch of different places, right?
Yeah.
It serves the plot well. But then it's fine to in the second movie, kind of switch him back to a minor character and focus on some other stuff and just
Yeah.
build the wizarding world that they're trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, like as most people are, but I feel like
You are.
Like of just the movies, though, right?
kind of just the world, honestly. I think it's
But not the books. I'm saying.
Oh no, I've never
Okay.
read the books. Yeah,
Okay.
just
I was
the
gonna
movies.
call you out because when you
sorry.
asked me if his name was Grindelwald, I'm like, this is a lot of sus. I'm a huge Harry Potter book fan.
No, yeah, I've never read the books, but just like that Wizarding World
Yeah.
in general is, I just find it always interesting, especially like growing up with the movies. Like it's just a big part of your life.
You gotta
right?
go to the theme park. It is legit.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Harry Potter, but when I was there, they do such a good job. Like the restaurants, the shops, they recreate it. It's fantastic.
have, like, the
Butterbeer is one of the
butterbeer,
best
yeah.
things I've
That's
ever
what I
drank.
heard.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Where
it's
did you
worth the
go
trip.
for it?
It's in Orlando.
Okay.
That's the only place it's in. It's worth it. It's tons of fun.
Is
Yeah.
beer real beer?
No, it's just like a caramel mixed with some other sweet stuff.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Lots of sugar.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. And you get like this little just like this mug for $5, but it's worth.
Yeah.
You gotta try it.
Oh, you have to.
But yeah, like I was agreeing with Taylor. That's like I go into this not thinking of like I know exactly what happens. Like fuck this movie. Like fuck you guys.
I don't say fuck the movie. I just can never get that excited about, because the tension's always gone,
Yeah.
Because anytime there's a wand at Dumbledore's face and they're threatening to kill him, it's like, it's fine. Like, he's gonna be alright. It's gonna puff up.
Yeah, that's true. I'm in there for the ride, not the destination. So I'll go into it with a positive mindset, but it could be like the last one that was definitely forgettable. But you just you got wands all over the place, just sagging down.
Whipping
and-
them out.
Wand whipping.
Left and right.
Left
Watch
and
those
right.
watch those
Watch
tweets,
those
Brownlee.
tweets. I'll pass along. Not much more to say after that.
Yeah, I think I'm more positive on this trailer than you guys. I thought it was it was definitely a pretty big step up from the last trailer, and the first movie I think I was more positive on it than I was more positive on it than Travis. Wasn't up there with Jessica. I think it was kind of bland, right, and slow. But this one, I mean, obviously it's a trailer, so it is going to be very quick cuts. But it does seem like there's more going on. It seems like there's kind of more parties that we're going to see their stories evolving, and so we'll see how the pacing works throughout the movie. Hopefully, cutting between different characters and stories, and then having them intertwine and go off do their own things. Hopefully, that'll serve the movie well and make the whole thing a more adorable experience. Whereas in the first one, there was some good scenes, but not like it wasn't really connected all that elegantly. It was, it was just it just didn't make the ride a whole lot of fun, and that's why I haven't watched it again since we saw it first time in theaters. I liked. I didn't feel negatively on Newt, but I didn't feel that positive either.
Very neutral.
He's
right?
probably
Very
like
neutral.
he was probably in like that 60 percentile.
Shazam.
I put him higher than a 50%, but like
Man, put
he
Shazam
didn't-
in this movie.
that would be a sick crossover.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the effects, special effects, the things they were doing, showing off, flying around was pretty good in this trailer, and
Yeah.
I thought it was fairly well done in the first movie. Sometimes interacting with the beasts, what the CGI wasn't all there. You could tell it was like some guy brushing a green screen, but it felt better in this trailer. Obviously, it's a trailer, so they're only going to show stuff that looks good. Obviously,
Yeah. We finished
when
this
they can,
scene.
when they have good stuff to show. Story-wise, I mean, you're right. Like we know the end goal here, or we know what happens in the end. So really, what they have to focus on is making these really good characters, memorable characters that are gonna retroactively, increase the Wizarding World in general. It's gonna make us, when we go back and watch Harry Potter, like, oh, that's the same Dumbledore that we saw. This is his backstory. These movies have a purpose because look, it makes these movies better, and I understand this guy's backstory, because you do get some of that through the Harry Potter movies, and you get more in the books, but you don't get enough. And I don't know. I think that like Dumbledore, especially I've read 4 of the books now, and he's a lot more goofy of a guy than the movies ever portrayed, and I like that. And I don't know. I think it'd be cool if they showed off some more of that in these movies now that they have a chance. A younger guy maybe. What's your joke? Say it.
Yeah.
I
Him
want
and
to
his
hear it.
goofy tweets.
That's lazy.
That's why I didn't say it. I was laughing at myself. I just thinking like, no, I'm just
All
goofy,
joke.
guys.
It got a laugh. So. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm, chived to go see this movie like Taylor, for example. But I feel more positive on this, and I think what it's setting up for right now is a movie I'm going to like more than I did the first one. I don't know if it'll be excellent. I don't know if it's going to be breaking into the Golden Geeks and making me throw out some nominations for some things, but hopefully it does, and I think it does have the potential for that based off this trailer. I like Johnny Depp. Yeah, he's had some problems. I like the most recent Pirates movie more than you guys did, for the most part, I think. I didn't love it, but...
No, they all liked it.
Oh,
I think
okay,
it's just
just
me and
you.
Briggs. No, me and Briggs
Right.
watched that big time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I watch it again, I have a different view, but I didn't mind him as much as you guys did, so... I don't know, I think this movie's got some potential, and, good for them. It was good. It was a nice trailer, and as you mentioned, I just want to reinforce it. The Hogwarts stuff, it didn't feel like it was just like fan service or stuff that's like, trying to get all the Harry Potter fans to remember all these, other great movies. It felt like it was actually there to help build up the characters together alongside each other.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see. It has purpose. So pretty good trailer, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall, nice set of trailers woke up to this morning.
Yeah, it was a good
Not so
day.
bad.
I still haven't seen that trailer.
What is this? That you're
Oh, it's just a leak looked at Venom, but it's nothing that new. It's
What?
just a picture of Venom.
Yeah, but look at that. That's probably where he bites the head off.
I think that's where he bites the head off of people that wanna. So it's out there on
He
Twitter.
looks
There you go.
so
Spoilers
interesting,
for
They-
those of us that haven't seen the
Such an
trailer yet.
interesting
And they
looking
officially
character.
said too, I guess the footage shows that he does not have the white spider on his chest, so they don't gotta
Yeah.
explain that away. So, anything else? I'm quickly gonna shout out. They're making a Batman Hush animated movie. That's great. Love the animated movies, and that's one of my favorite Batman comics. So as long as it's not adapted the way Killing Joke was, but yeah, it's
Who's the villain of that one?
Hush.
His name's Hush.
Hush, but it's like every villain's kind of in it.
Oh.
Like it's one of those. It's a big story. Superman's even a
I
villain.
missed
in
the
it.
joke. I'm sure it was funny.
Oh, it was not.
Okay.
I just lied. It was one of yours.
Goofy Dumbledore.
So you
Uh,
never heard him.
There's been a lot of
This is
missed jokes
Hush.
today, guys. We're
Yeah.
a little off.
And
Taylor's
then
got me.
it also features one of the best like Batman Catwoman love stories as
Ooh.
well. And yeah, a great relationship with Hush, and I won't spoil it because Thomas and Bruce, they go back, and
Thomas and Bruce.
yeah, so it's a character that many people want on the big screen. I don't know if you can ever get it. It's a pretty long, convoluted story, but in comic books form works. So I'm
So
excited.
this is
Animated movie.
is that going to the streaming service?
I think at some point it will. I think they'll probably try to release a VOD and Blu-ray to get like those initial sales, and then maybe like 6 months later this
So
and that.
not,
But they didn't.
not like a Killing Joke thing?
No, I don't know if it's.
How
if
did Killing Joke do?
It did actually pretty well, like for a little, because they also did a Batman and Harley Quinn movie in theaters that we didn't get, but they also put that in
Oh.
there. So there's a chance they could. If they do this, I'll go see this, depending on reviews.
I like that
because,
they're doing a lot like little side projects like this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cool.
Because if it's gets good reviews, I'll see it. But I'm not gonna spend money after Killing
It
Joke.
really just shows, the deep cauldron of Batman's history. He's got a lot. He's
Did
got
you-
a lot in that stew.
Did you mean to do that because DC? Deep Cauldron.
No, that's fucking brilliant.
Look at that.
Way to go, Dylan.
Anything else we want to shout out before we close out this Comic
I'm
Con?
gonna show Voltron. Next season's coming out August
Voltron.
10th. And then they'll have the season 9. That'll be coming out 2019, I believe. And then that's the end of the show. Unfortunately, I think it's phenomenal.
Voltron.
It's definitely got its fans out there. So, yeah, the Legendary Defender.
I don't know.
That's why that was my
Is
title.
this like a Netflix thing?
It's Netflix.
Ultron's brother.
Netflix original?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
It's a cartoon.
Cartoon. Cartoonified.
I'm
Sick.
pretty confident that it was like a remake. Do you know about that? You know anything about it? No.
Okay.
I know it was a
It's-
series before, and I think
yeah.
it got canceled, and Netflix picked it up. It's like
Yeah.
a Transformers-like type of series
Yeah.
where robots fighting each
Mhm.
other. Yeah. So.
Kind of like Gundam.
Gundam.
Yeah.
Gundam style.
You like the Gundam guy in Ready Player One?
Ready Player 2. Yeah.
Ready Player 2.
One thing I'll shout out is not related to anything at all, but
Nice.
I've watched through Nathan For You. It's a Comedy Central show, and I have to say, really clever, really smart, really funny. I really enjoy the show, and it has like a pretty crazy ending. It's a really it really develops as a show. You know, from season 1 where it's kind of just like each episode's its own thing, and it kind of like has like recurring characters, but it's all like real people. It's really interesting. I would definitely recommend it. And it's obviously incredibly popular. A lot of people. I don't think any of you guys have seen it,
Never.
but I definitely recommend it. I think all 3 of you would enjoy it personally.
Sweet.
So,
I gotta
awesome.
catch up on Captain Underpants on Netflix.
Captain Underpants.
Is that good? I was wondering about watching.
I watched the first 15 minutes. It was good, but I wasn't paying attention enough to
Ooh.
see. But I think it's if you liked those books, you'll like this. Did you like the movie?
I haven't seen the movie,
Wow.
but
I
I
like
mean,
the books.
I love the books.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
books
It's
are
a
classic.
bit like it's a little kiddie, but at the same point, those books were kiddie, right?
Yeah,
when I think
totally.
about it, when we read them,
Scholastic
so
Book Fair, dude.
oh, so good. So yeah, I would give it a watch. It's pretty enjoyable. I think they're like 20-minute episodes. There's only like 10 or 13, and it's a fun little style. So yeah, and I'll be checking out Who Is America tomorrow.
Ooh.
Back is Sacha
What
Baron
is
Cohen's new show.
Why?
Have you watched that yet? Have you watched Sacha Baron's new show?
No, how do you access it?
Yeah,
Or at.
Showtime. You gotta
Put it
have
in-
Showtime.
put it in the codes.
Showtime. Is it good?
First episode was good. It wasn't it wasn't as funny as stuff like Dally G or anything, but I'm hoping it's better. There were some hits and misses, but that's kind of all his stuff. So he had a great segment with Bernie Sanders, and that was pretty fun.
Bernie Sandbag.
Yeah. Well, no. Watch his
I,
tweets. Watch his tweets.
Before I forget, I almost forgot to shout out the Dragon Prince. They showed it off.
How could you
The
forget?
guys that did Avatar, right?
Avatar Last Vendor. Last Vendor. the last
Last
Vendor.
Coupons.
Yeah.
Coupons here.
The Last Airbender. I'm a big Last Airbender. I
Last
cannot
Airbender.
speak.
Yeah.
The Last Airbender. I like that a lot.
Whoa.
They showed a super short trailer, and needless to say, I'm super stoked because it just looks awesome.
I'll have to check that out.
The
I love
animation
that.
kind of resembles that Godzilla Netflix show, so I was
Okay.
a little skeptical, but just the characters and what they're showing off, I just got super hyped for. So
Okay.
I don't think there's a release date or anything on. Actually, that's a lie. There is a release date. All the episodes are coming in September, so that's super exciting. It's gonna be straight to Netflix.
Straight to
Nice.
Netflix.
Yep, so I'm super stoked.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for supporting us this whole week. We still got one more cast tomorrow, which is the Blade 2 Retro, so check that out. And if you like that, head over to Patreon and get Blade 3 and get some Gauntlet stuff. You get Spider-Man Retro, you get some other stuff up there soon. So soon we should be starting a Halloween Retro, so that should be lots of fun. Next week, I think we're reviewing Mission Impossible. I keep getting 50-50
I have a
on
shirt.
that.
Mission.
It's hard because I
Impossible
haven't seen
Fallout,
any of
believe it or
them.
You have a whole week to watch 5 movies. You could do it. A movie a day keeps the
I gotta watch
away.
Halloween. I gotta watch Blade 4. I gotta watch
Blade 4, eh?
not. 4.
Yeah.
this, that, and the other one.
Please.
But
give me that
yeah,
one.
if you want, I'm cutting you short because we run long.
Well, you only said like 2 of them were mandatory, right?
Halloween.
You said
I'd say 2 are mandatory.
The
Yeah,
3?
yeah,
Number
3
3?
and 5.
And this is number 6 then. The
Yeah.
new one.
Yeah.
3, 5. So
Yeah, 3 and 5.
I think I can. do
And one of those
What's
directed by
the new
JJ,
one?
so you gotta watch
What's the
them.
new one?
Mission
It's
Impossible.
Fallout.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about
Fallout
Halloween.
76.
at
That's why I
first.
didn't want
Mission
to see it
Impossible
because it's
Fallout
Fallout.
76.
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
Wow. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in. We've had some good numbers. So go back and check out all our news coverage. We did the superhero draft, which I did not announce during the DC because we didn't talk about any Wonder Woman stuff. They just talked about the movie and
Oh.
they didn't show any footage. But yeah, I can announce that Kirkland Fatzer has the first point in the superhero draft. Pedro Pascal is playing a mystery role in Wonder Woman. So
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm so
So-
psyched.
So there you go. So,
Horns up.
Horns out.
Good job for the first time entering the superhero draft.
Yeah, bastard. So
Amazing.
Yeah, he's showing all of us up already.
So-
within what is it? 1 day he got it essentially.
full there's some iffy on the casting. We filmed
Yeah.
it earlier. There's some cloudiness me and Dylan talked about, but Kirkland's getting the point because he didn't know about it. So
Let's do it.
he, yeah,
Yeah,
so-
technically
I didn't
it was
even
like,
know about that,
Technically,
but-
it was a cheat answer. Like
Yeah, technically it actually kind of already been cast, but you didn't know that. So,
Okay.
but
I'll take
it's,
Well, we don't think that you knew that. You could be.
Yeah.
Take the point.
We did give you the credit that you could be.
He actually texted me.
You had the slime potential.
But yeah, so
Delete
go,
those tweets, Kirk.
I gotta go back.
go and check it out. Everyone, go delete those tweets. Thank you very much for the week. We'll be back next week, and I promise you, it'll not be.
Thank you so
boring.
much. Bye bye.
Bye. That's such a good hashtag. Hashtag delete those tweets.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag
Oh
delete.
man.